Chapter 1021. Wang Daoyuan was well aware of the value of these two materials. The abyss frost iron was nurtured in the ice sea and was an ice attribute material. Other than being able to release a huge amount of cold air to hurt the enemy, it could also absorb a large amount of cold air. A magic tool forged from deep abyss frigid iron had a miraculous effect against ice-type cultivators. Furthermore, the strength of the abyss frost iron was extremely high and was one of the best among the same grade of materials. No matter what kind of magic weapon was forged, there was no need to consider the issue of strength. 100 kilograms of abyss frost iron was worth 1,000,000 spirit stones. If it was placed on Rare Treasures Island, people would fight for it for 1.5 million spirit stones. The value of the lava fire crystal was much higher than the abyss frost iron. From the name, one could tell that it was nurtured in the lava. Furthermore, to nurture the lava fire crystal, the lava had to nurture the earth fire. The lava fire crystal was formed from some metal materials that had been roasted for a long time by the earth fire to remove all impurities and absorb a huge amount of earth fire essence. The value of the earth fire essence depended on its foundation. Different metal materials would form different lava fire crystals. No matter what kind of lava fire crystal it was, its value was extremely high. Even if its strength was not high, the earth fire essence it contained was not just for show. When forging a fire attribute magic weapon, adding some as supplementary materials could greatly increase the value of the magic weapon. When a magic weapon was added with earth fire essence, its power would be greatly increased when using fire attribute techniques. Furthermore, this thing also had the characteristic of rapidly absorbing fire attribute spiritual energy and had a certain restraining effect on fire attribute opponents. Apart from that, the lava fire crystal could also exert some effects of the fire essence. If this thing was used to nurture the spirit fire, it would be extremely beneficial for increasing the grade and power of the spirit fire. Although the abyss frost iron was precious, there were no ice attribute cultivators in the Wang family with outstanding talent. Using such a good material for refining tools to refine ordinary magic tools was truly a waste of God's gifts. However, the lava fire crystal was more valuable. There were many fire attribute cultivators in the Wang family and many of them had matured. Wang Daoyuan put away the two kinds of refining materials. The two seniors are really generous. I can't be stingy anymore. According to the rogue cultivators on Rare Treasure Island at that time, a few years before Blood Shark attacked Rare Treasure Island, there were frequent undersea earthquakes in the southern waters of Rare Treasure Island. Moreover, there were also loose cultivators who went to investigate, saying that they had discovered the aura of spatial laws. Blood Shark and the Seven Stars Alliance also sent people to seal off the area where the earthquake occurred. With the Wen clan's tens of thousands of years of heritage, they should know what this means. Moon Sungcheon nodded. It is said that before the appearance of the Seven-Star Secret Realm, there was a similar phenomenon. Rumor has it that the two sides started the war over the Secret Realm. Looks like it's true. The red-robed cultivator was enraged. Junior, you're asking for a piece of deep abyss frost iron and a lava fire crystal just because of that bit of information? Wang Daoyuan smiled and said, Senior, don't be anxious. The two sides didn't start the war just for this. Think about it, if it was just for this secret realm, why didn't they start a war when it was first discovered? They even sent cultivators to seal off the news and only started the war a few years later. What I'm going to say next can't be recorded in the Wen clan's ancient records. The three of them were intrigued and stared at Wang Daoyuan with wide eyes. A few days before the blood shark took action, a strange golden kirin suddenly appeared in a blood shark's shop in the market of Rare Treasures Island. This strange kirin's power far exceeded that of a soul formation cultivator and was more than 1,000 feet long. After appearing for a dozen breaths, it disappeared into thin air. None of the surrounding buildings were damaged and none of the cultivators were injured. The red-robed cultivator hurriedly said, Don't keep us in suspense. It's just a demonic beast with Kirin's bloodline. Although it's rare, it's not like it hasn't appeared before. Of course, demonic beasts with Kirin's bloodline are not rare. However, have you heard of a Kirin that has the characteristics of a true dragon, a Kirin, and a pair of phoenix wings? The three of them looked at each other, and the blue-robed cultivator said, "The bloodlines of the divine beasts are mixed and they might restrain each other. It's very difficult to produce an expert. With 3 types of divine beasts' bloodlines in one body, 99% of the demonic beasts born will be trash. Even if they're not trash, they're far inferior to a semi-divine beast. It's impossible for them to be very powerful. Since you dare to quote such a price, you must know what it is. Hurry up and tell us." "This thing is not a Kirin's bloodline, but a Kirin's ancestor. There's a rumor in my clan that when the Qianyuan realm was first formed, some spirit clans were born. Among these spirit clans, there's an extremely powerful spirit beast called Yinglong. He's the ancestor of the current 5 elements divine beasts. In terms of strength, he's one of the best. I wonder if there's any record of him in the Wen clan's ancient records?" The blue-robed cultivator shook his head. "I've been in charge of the Wen clan for more than 2,000 years, but I've never seen anything about Yinglong. This Yinglong is the ancestor of the dragon clan. His entire body is bright yellow, and he has a pair of wings. The Phoenix clan's wings are inherited from him. Yinglong gave birth to Kenma, and Kenma gave birth to Kirin. Although I haven't seen this strange Kirin with my own eyes, I can basically confirm that this thing is Kenma from the information provided by the itinerant cultivator. He's the son of Yinglong and the ancestor of Kirin. Naturally, he has the characteristics of both. Kenma's bloodline is far above the 5 elements divine beasts. Has the Wen clan ever heard of a divine beast stronger than the 5 elements divine beasts?" The 3 of them shook their heads together. Wang Daoyuan continued, "Yinglong is not only powerful, but also a symbol of providence. Ordinary cultivators will suffer a backlash from providence if they draw Yinglong's image. Therefore, no one has ever dared to use Yinglong's image to refine magic tools or create magic arts. There are only some descriptions of his image. Kenma has Yinglong's bloodline, so he must have inherited part of Yinglong's providence. Therefore, this Kenma can't be created by magic tools or magic arts. The Sea of 7 Stars doesn't have a rank 7 spirit vein, so it's impossible to breed such a powerful divine beast. At that time, Kenma's body also had some purple light. I guess there are 2 possibilities. First, a supreme treasure from the primordial era appeared on Rare Treasures Island. This supreme treasure is extremely extraordinary, and it's very likely to be directly related to Kenma. However, only one Kenma has ever appeared in the world. How could it so coincidentally appear in such a remote place like the Sea of 7 Stars? Second, someone opened up the Purple Palace. This Kenma is a Purple Palace anomaly. The Wen family should know what it means to have a Purple Palace anomaly that far surpasses the 5 elements divine beasts and has extremely strong providence." The blue-robed elder gasped. "A son of providence." Wang Daoyuan smiled and nodded. "I think so too. Whether it's a primordial era supreme treasure or a son of providence, Blood Shark will greatly improve his strength. Rare Treasures Island is the balance between the 2 forces. This matter can't be hidden from the 7 Stars Alliance. Blood Shark probably wants to strike first and gain the upper hand by taking down Rare Treasures Island first. Senior, since you know about the Son of Providence, you must know about the Battle of Providence." The blue-robed elder nodded. "I obtained many books from the 7 Stars mystic realm, so I know a little about this matter. The Qixingxi Shuxian community is located in the Qianyuan realm. Every time the Qianyuan realm has a great tribulation, many cultivators with great providence will appear. These people grow much faster than ordinary people. When they cultivate to the mighty figure realm, they will start the battle of providence. The final winner will become the tribulation taker and resist the impending tribulation. The person who helps the Son of Providence win will also receive some providence and become a top force in the Qianyuan realm. It's not impossible to nurture an earth immortal in the future." Upon hearing this, the red-robed elder's face lit up with excitement. "Then if we join Blood Shark, won't the Wen family be able to advance further in the future?" The blue-robed elder shouted sternly, "Fool, the Qianyuan realm has more than one Sea of 7 Stars. Legend has it that in the southwest direction, beyond the decimating heaven abyss, there is a continent. That is the core of the Qianyuan realm. On that continent, there are many Earth Immortal legacies, countless mighty figure and Mahayana legacies. Every son of Providence has to participate in the Battle of Providence. The Sea of Seven Stars has such a weak foundation. Can the Son of Providence here deal with the Son of Providence on the Qianyuan continent? If we join Blood Shark, will our Wen family attack the entire Qianyuan continent with the Son of Providence, or will we wait until the strongest person on the Qianyuan continent is determined before fighting with them? We have almost no chance of winning if we follow Blood Shark's Son of Providence. Even if we win, what can we do? Can the benefits our Wen family get be as big as Blood Shark? Once we fail, I'm afraid our Wen family will be in danger of being exterminated. Are we crazy to risk being exterminated to fight for the position of the second most powerful force in the Sea of Seven Stars? Moon Sungcheon asked, then what should our Wen family do? Blood Shark has the help of the Son of Providence. Over time, the possibility of taking down the Seven Stars Alliance is very high. The blue-robed elder smiled and said, since little friend Zhou said this, you must have some ideas. Why don't you tell us? Senior, what you said is generally correct. It's just that I know more. The Son of Providence isn't born with heaven-defying providence. Instead, as their cultivation increases, their providence will gradually increase. The Son of Providence in Blood Shark's hands should have just opened his Violet Palace. No matter how strong his providence is, it will only affect his luck and cultivation speed. A Violet Palace realm cultivator won't affect the outcome of the battle too much. Now that Blood Shark has taken down Rare Treasure Island, they have the upper hand. The two forces haven't fought for more than 2,000 years, so they should have accumulated a lot of resources. It will probably take another 100 or 200 years to determine the winner. During this time, it's best to bide their time. When the Seven Stars Alliance is exhausted, the Wen family will help. It'll be best if they can eliminate Blood Shark. Even if they can't completely eliminate it, they have to suppress it. As long as they delay, when the Son of Providence on the Qianyuan continent attacks, Blood Shark's Son of Providence won't be able to do much. By then, the Wen family will work with the Son of Providence from the outside to eliminate Blood Shark. By limiting Blood Shark's contribution, the Son of Providence from the outside will give us some benefits. We won't have to risk the destruction of our family, and we can still gain a lot of benefits. Moon Sungcheon and the red-robed elder were delighted, but the blue-robed elder was calm. Then what about Daoyou's force, Zhou? Since my family has decided to settle down in the frozen tundra and is deeply involved with the Wen family, we will naturally advance and retreat together with the Wen family. In the Battle of Providence, no matter how well we hide, we will be involved. Plus, there will be a great calamity later. We can't hide from it. If the Wen family doesn't mind that my family is weak, I am willing to form an alliance with the Wen family. When one side is attacked, the other side will have to fight the enemy together. The three semi-god realm cultivators of the Wen family started to discuss this through telepathy. Wang Daoyuan was happy to have some free time. He quietly waited for them to come to a conclusion. After a long time, the blue-robed elder said, of course, we are very tempted by little friend Zhou's suggestion. However, the Wen family doesn't know much about our little friend's family. This alliance is a bit hasty. This is just a suggestion. After this is over, I will return to my family and report this to the elders. Next time, I will bring some of my family members to settle down in the Earth Flame Islands. After we have a firm foothold, we will formally discuss the alliance with the Wen family. The blue-robed elder said with a smile, that's good. I can make a promise. As long as you are sincere, the Wen family is willing to form an alliance with you. Chapter 1022. With this, Wang Daoyuan was relieved. The Wen family promised that they would show more strength the next time they came. He was not afraid that the Wen family would not form an alliance. With this alliance, there was a foundation for cooperation. In the future, the two families would formally form an alliance and cooperate for a few decades. The low-level cultivators would then marry. The Wang family and the Wen family were like the Yang family in the past. The relationship between the two families was very harmonious. When one side was strong, the other side would naturally rely on it. There would be no conflicts in between. After all, both sides had been relatives for many years. If one side relied on the other, they would have many in-laws and cousins to rely on. There was no need to worry about a future. If he broke through to the Mahayana realm, the Wen family would naturally become a subordinate force of the Wang family, just like the Yang family in the past. If the Wang family's higher-ups had some marriage alliances with the Wen family would also become the Wang family's hardcore. In particular, the Wen family's grand elder was a smart person who knew who he could not provoke. Such a person was easy to deal with and would not do anything stupid. Although he was not young, it would not be a problem for him to live for more than 1,000 years. 1,000 years was enough for him to cultivate to the almighty realm. At that time, even if the Wen family changed the helmsman and the new helmsman was a fool, he would not dare to go against the Almighty. With Senior's words, I'm relieved. I have to return to the family as soon as possible, so I won't stay here for long. I hope the Wen family will pay more attention to the blood sharks matter. After saying that, he took out a jade pendant. When my people migrate over, I will crush this jade pendant. At that time, our two families can discuss cooperation in some business. If there are any big changes in the Sea of 7 Stars, you can crush the jade pendant. I will rush over as soon as possible. This jade pendant was refined by the clone using the secret technique of the Valley of Beasts. Whether it was the materials used or the refining method, it was much better than the jade pendant that Moon Sungcheon had given him. This was also a means to scare the Wen family and make them believe that there was a powerful hidden family behind him. Moon Sungcheon took the jade pendant. Wang Daoyuan took Zhou Wan and walked out. The 3 members of the Wen clan followed behind to see them off. Outside the secret realm, Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, "The 3 of you don't have to see us off anymore. We'll take our leave now." After saying that, he directly took out Lei Peng's flying boat. The 2 of them boarded the flying boat and headed southwest. In order to show off his strength, Wang Daoyuan even increased the speed of Lei Peng's flying boat to the extreme. The entire flying boat quickly disappeared from the sight of the Wen clan's trio. Wen clan's second supreme elder sucked in a breath of cold air. "Big brother, have you heard of this kind of flying boat? Judging from its speed, it should be able to fly around 40,000 kilometers in 2 hours. A grade 5 flying magic tool can actually reach such a speed." First Supreme Elder shook his head. "I've never seen one either. A 6th-tier flying magic tool can have this kind of speed, but that would require a mid-tier 6th-tier item. Although there are many ancient books and precious spiritual plants in the 7 Stars secret realm, I've never found a flying magic tool. It seems that the power behind Zhou Ming is not simple. Even a flying magic tool is so extraordinary. In addition to that powerful sword intent, the 5 lifebound magic tools have weapon spirits, and all kinds of secrets that we don't know. We can be sure that the power behind Zhou Ming is much stronger than our Wen clan." Second Supreme Elder asked, "Will our Wen clan become Zhou Ming's subordinate power in the future? The great tribulation of heaven and earth is coming. It's good enough that we can keep our inheritance." The few words in the Xunlian school's ancient books also mentioned that countless forces would disappear every time there was a great tribulation of heaven and earth. Didn't even Xunlian school disappear? It's very likely because of the last great tribulation of heaven and earth. For a force like our Wen clan that doesn't even have a Mahayana cultivator, we can't even find a place to ride the coattails of a mighty figure or an earth immortal. Now that we can form an alliance with Zhou Ming's family, we can be considered as huddling together for warmth. It will be easier for us to ride on their coattails in the future. If this force is really strong enough, what can we do if we directly join them? How about we find a way to marry Zhou Ming? Even if our Wen clan's woman becomes his concubine. The first elder shook his head. I actually didn't sense any decaying aura from Zhou Ming's body. Cheng Tian saw him before he broke through to the soul formation realm. At that time, he also didn't have a trace of decay. This means that he is very young. He should be less than 500 years old. How many people like him have there been in the history of the Sea of Seven Stars? But he only chose to marry one Dao companion. Do you think this Zhou Wan is an ordinary person? Moon Sungcheon shook his head. This woman has the bloodline of a divine beast, which means that she has an extraordinary background. She also doesn't have a trace of decay. She should be young. Zhou Ming values her so much. The elders in this woman's family are definitely not weak. If we meddle in their affairs and anger the elders in Zhou Wan's family, the Wen clan may be destroyed. First Supreme Elder nodded repeatedly. Qing Tian is right. We shouldn't meddle in the affairs of the force behind Zhou Ming. We can agree to whatever they want as long as it doesn't harm the interests of the Wen clan. On the other side, Wang Daoyuan didn't return to Beiyuan Shuxian directly. Instead, he took a detour to the Earth Flame Archipelago. After the flying boat flew for more than 10,000 miles, Zhou Wan smiled and said, "Your acting is really good. You managed to fool the three old guys of the Wen clan. They should be convinced that there is a very strong force behind you now. Also, this force has been passed down since ancient times. Its foundation is not inferior to the Shunlian school. That's not wrong. Although Beiyuan has declined, its cultivation methods and foundation are still far superior to the Sea of Seven Stars. With my portable secret realm, I can cultivate a large number of Yuanying experts in 100 years. Especially Mingchen. He should be able to reach the soul formation realm in 200 or 300 years. Plus, you, me, Yen, and Jia Qi. Our Wang clan's strength will soon surpass the Wen clan." The flying boat arrived at the eastern part of the Earth Flame Archipelago. From afar, they saw 6 volcanoes that were more than 3,000 feet tall. 3 of them were slowly leaking lava. These 6 volcanoes were divided into ribbons that stretched for more than 30,000 miles from the west to the east. Sensing the spirit energy waves in the lava, they should all be at the 6th stage. This place was around 50,000 miles away from the southern edge of the ice field. The Lone Star Island was at the northwest edge of the Sea of Seven Stars. The Earth Flame Archipelago was more than 1,000,000 miles away from the northwest of the Lone Star Island. It was considered far away from the Sea of Seven Stars. Since it was so far away, there was no need to worry about the Sea of Seven Stars causing trouble. Although it was in the endless ice sea, the volcanoes weren't completely covered in ice. The flying boat circled around the Earth Flame Archipelago. There were 6 large islands and more than 20 small islands. The 6 large volcanoes were located on the 6 large islands. The westernmost island was also the largest, with a diameter of more than 2,000 miles. There was a 6th-stage neutral spirit vein on the island. Apart from a large volcano and a few small hills, the rest were flat. It was perfect for developing spirit fields. The other 5 islands weren't much smaller than this one, with diameters of more than 500 miles. As long as these 6 large islands could stabilize the volcanoes, it wouldn't be a problem to feed millions of people. If there were enough Qingkuan gourds to grow spirit grains, it wouldn't be a problem to feed tens of millions of people. There were also many volcanoes on the 20 small islands. It was just that the islands were too small and the volcano's influence was too great. It wasn't suitable for ordinary clansmen to live in. However, it wasn't a bad idea to let cultivators breed spirit beasts there. No one had lived here before, so the islands didn't have names. They were just called the Earth Flame Archipelago. In the future, the Earth Flame Archipelago would fall into the hands of the Wang clan, so they might as well give it a name. The 7 large islands in the Sea of Seven Stars were named after the Big Dipper. Wang Daoyuan planned to name the 6 large islands according to the 6 stars of the Big Dipper. From west to east, they were Heavenly Treasury Island, Heavenly Bridge Island, Heavenly Fate Island, Heavenly Unity Island, Heavenly Phase Island, and 7 Kills Island. As for the other small islands, he would leave them to the cultivators of his clan to name. Although the distribution of the islands had nothing to do with the 6 stars of the Big Dipper, it wasn't a big deal to name them that way. After all, there weren't any other islands in the Qixing Sea Shuxian community with this name. Liao Yang and Chen Zhaoi's clones had long been brought out. One of them was steering the flying boat while the other was recording the sea situation of the Earth Flame Archipelago. The volcanoes of the 6 large islands all had the aura of 6-stage demon beasts. Lei Peng's flying boat didn't get too close. It only flew past them 500 miles away. Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan both retracted their auras, and the demon beasts didn't make a move either. When they reached the westernmost heavenly treasury island, there was a powerful dragon aura in the volcanoes. From the looks of it, there should be a 6-stage dragon hidden in the volcanoes. The flying boat didn't dare to get close. It just circled around the southern part of the island. However, the demon beasts on the heavenly treasury island didn't know how to appreciate favors. A dragon's roar resounded through the sky, and a fiery red flood dragon flew out of the volcanoes. Lava was slowly flowing out of the volcanoes, and under this guy's interference, it began to shake. After a few breaths, the blazing lava spewed out more than 2,000 feet high. This flood dragon's appearance wasn't bad. Except for the fact that it only had 3 fingers on its 4 claws, it was no different from a real dragon. Obviously, this was a semi-divine beast. Moreover, this guy's cultivation wasn't low. It had already reached the 6th stage. Fighting such a demon beast really wasn't a joke. Wang Daoyuan instructed, Shadow Lord, take the flying boat to the west first. I'll play with this flood dragon. After saying that, he turned into a silver light and instantly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already more than 200 miles north of the flying boat. The flood dragon also flew over and roared at Wang Daoyuan, a bug-like human dares to wander in front of me. I haven't eaten a human for hundreds of years. You're just right. After saying that, it spat out a huge fireball. Wang Daoyuan took out the Xian cauldron and took the fireball. Then, he activated his divine ability domain, and 30th water divine thunders appeared out of thin air and smashed toward the flood dragon. This flood dragon's strength wasn't bad. Its body was wrapped in a thick layer of lava. The 10th water divine thunders were all blocked. The 10th water divine thunders that had been deduced to the 6th stage were still not enough. Especially the lack of penetration ability, they were all blocked by 10% of the lava. Next, he tested the power of the Heavenly Dipper sword formation, but it was also blocked by the lava. After returning to Beiyuan, he had to deduce it properly. If the quality wasn't enough, quantity would make up for it. Wang Daoyuan relied on his divine ability domain to continuously use the 10th water divine thunders. The flood dragon used all its energy to defend and had no time to counterattack. After a dozen breaths, the flood dragon felt that it had no chance of winning. It turned around and flew back into the volcano. Wang Daoyuan didn't chase after it. He returned to Lei Peng's flying ship. Zhou Wan didn't fly far either. She kept watching Wang Daoyuan and the flood dragon fight. Why didn't you take down the flood dragon? With your strength, it shouldn't be hard to keep it. It's a 6th stage mid-grade demon beast, and a half-divine beast. Any one of its scales can be made into a 6th stage Dharma artifact. It's useless to take it down. When we return to Beiyuan, we still have to deal with the demons there. We won't be able to get there without spending some time. If we kill the flood dragon now, other demons will come and occupy it. A 6th stage mid-grade non-elemental spirit vein and a volcano. There might even be a 6th stage mine on the island. The temptation is too great. If the Wen family is tempted and occupies this place in advance. If we fall out with the Wen family, all our previous efforts will be wasted. If we don't fall out, we won't be able to find such a good place to stay. Even if the Wen family doesn't make a move, the Wen family isn't the only one on Mystic Island. There are other small forces. If the human heart can't withstand the test, it's better to keep the flood dragon in case someone becomes greedy. Chapter 1023. Zhou Wan nodded. You're so thoughtful. Can we go back to Beiyuan Xiuxin now? I've never left Beiyuan. I really miss the kids. It's good to be powerful. Including the time we spent on the road, we've almost finished everything in less than 10 years. You've reached the peak of the Yuanying realm. You have the secret skill to transform your spiritual power into divine sense. I'll help you cultivate. It's only a matter of time before you reach the perfect level. When you reach the perfect level, you can break through to the semi-god realm. The red sun primordial fire in the secret realm has reached the 6th level. It won't take long for the fire spirit to reach the next level. Next time we come, we'll have 3 semi-god realm warriors with us. We'll be able to stir up trouble in the Sea of 7 Stars. Zhou Wan couldn't believe it. I can reach the perfect level? Of course. We have the Yin-Yang mutual art. It can help you improve your body. The secret skill can generate a lot of divine sense. It's not a problem for you to reach the perfect level. In order to reach the perfect level as soon as possible, we have to hurry up and cultivate. Then, he carried Zhou Wan into the bedroom. In fact, the blood lotus seed could also improve the body. Since the Yin-Yang mutual art had the same effect, why waste such a precious treasure? Therefore, Wang Daoyuan didn't mention the blood lotus seed to Zhou Wan. On the way back, the flying boat took the same route. It flew west along the edge of the ice field. The 2 clones still needed to improve the sea conditions along the way in preparation for building a transit station in the future. It took them more time on the way back. It took them 3 years to reach the Mirage Mist Sea. Wang Daoyuan didn't plan to go back like this. Since they were going to deal with the beasts, it wasn't good to show up. After reaching the semi-god realm, Wang Daoyuan's ability to sense his clones had improved greatly. He sensed his clones at the mouth of the Purple Gold River. The ice tortoise was guarding the mouth of the Thousand River in Linhai State. The gray rock was patrolling the west side of the Sky Mountain. Jia Qi was secretly protecting Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian in the desert north of the mountain. Ever since the 2 of them had established their Violet Palace, they had been traveling outside. The cultivation speed of a heavenly spirit root was still extremely terrifying. In just a little over 10 years, he had already reached the middle stage of the Violet Palace realm. If this continued, forming his gold core before he was 100 years old was a sure thing. According to the memories of the doppelganger, nothing major had happened in Beiyuan Xiuxian during the 10 years they had been away. The Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce was still methodically annexing the various branches of Blood Shadow. Now, the Blood Shadow branches in Zheng and Zhou had become the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce's territory. The Wei nation was unexpectedly unyielding and was still holding on until now. There were no rumors about the 2 of them leaving. After all, it was common for Yuanying cultivators to go into seclusion for decades. It had only been 10 years since he had appeared, so no one would suspect anything. Wang Daoyuan controlled the panoramic perception avatar, Gray Peng, to let him fly to Clear Glass City to report. The gray rock arrived above Clear Glass City and transformed into a gray-robed cultivator. However, his face was rather ferocious. His aquiline nose covered his mouth and his eyes flashed with a cold light. He went straight to the imperial study. The Wang family was familiar with him and did not stop him. Seeing him enter, Wang Mingxian asked, "Uncle Gray Peng, did you find anything?" Gray Peng scanned the surroundings. Wang Mingxian immediately understood and let the others leave. Only Wang Mingxian and Wang Daochang were left in the imperial study. From the doppelganger's memories, he knew that the 12th uncle had already broken through to the Yuanying realm. Not long ago, he went to the Archaic Mysteries sect to borrow the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda to deduce the overturned sea art. Although the Wang family's overturned sea art was not weak among the golden core cultivation techniques, there was no follow-up content. The 12th uncle mainly cultivated the overturned sea art. It was not suitable for him to change cultivation techniques after reaching the Yuanying realm. Gray Peng said, "Mingxian, third brother, I'm back. I'm now at Zijin River." Wang Mingxian was stunned. "Father, since you're back, why didn't you come directly? I've already broken through to the Soul Formation realm. I've also found a place to settle down at the Qixing Si Shuxian community." Hearing this, the 2 of them were very happy. Wang Daochang quickly asked, "So, our Wang family can leave Qixing Si and go to the Sea of 7 Stars to establish a family branch?" Of course. The place I've found is called the Earth Flame Archipelago. There are 6 islands with a radius of more than 1,000 miles. Each island has a level 6 spirit vein and a volcano. Even the worst island can accommodate millions of people. There are also more than 20 small islands with a radius of a few hundred miles. They also have level 5 spirit veins. Although they are not suitable for ordinary family members, they can still be accommodated for cultivators. The next time we go to the Sea of 7 Stars, we can bring some family members there and establish the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce there. Wang Mingchen was also very excited. In this way, the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce will be able to occupy a place in the Sea of 7 Stars in a few years. It's a pity that the 2 cultivation worlds are too far apart. It's not easy to communicate. Otherwise, we can connect the 2 cultivation worlds. The trade between the 2 immortal cultivation worlds is extremely profitable. Don't worry. When I went back and forth to the Qixing Sea Shuxin community, I asked my clone to record the situation of the islands along the way. As long as the time is right, we can set up transit stations and communication arrays on these islands. With my current cultivation, I have no opponents in Qixing Sea. It's time to deal with the demon race. This time, I came back to deal with the demon race in Qixing Sea. I won't show up now to lure the demon race to attack our Yen kingdom. As long as a level 5 demon race attacks, I'll use the excuse that the demon race violated the agreement and kill all demons above level 5. From then on, there will be no demon race in Qixing Sea that can threaten the survival of the human race. Only by eliminating all the demon race can we ensure the safety of the border area of the Arctic ice field, and the transit station can be safe. Wang Mingchen asked, "Father, what should we do then?" "Find someone from the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce and spread the news in the Wanchuan market. Say that your mother and I have left Qixing Sea. Travel to other places and look for an opportunity to break through to the semi-god realm. After the news is spread, send someone to Shanbei and Linhai. These 2 places are close to the demon race's territory. As long as the news is spread widely enough, the demon race will definitely get the news. There will always be guys who can't stand being lonely. When the time comes, you will make some moves to shrink the defense industry to give the demon race some courage. If the demon race gains an advantage, they will definitely do worse. As long as a level 5 demon dares to attack, we will have an excuse to wipe out the demon race." Wang Mingchen nodded. "I will arrange for my trusted subordinates hidden in the Chamber of Commerce to spread the news. Don't be too anxious. Release the news slowly and lure the demon race to attack. Third brother, you have been in charge of the family for many years. Check for Mingchen." Wang Daochang smiled and said, "Seventh brother, don't worry. This is my duty. You can make the arrangements. I will stay in Zhejinshuan for a while." Then, he controlled his avatar, the Grey Rock, to leave Qingli City and continue to patrol the territory of the Yen Kingdom. Wang Mingchen took out a communication jade token from his interspatial ring. After sending a message, he put it away. In the Wanchuan market, a cultivator who looked like a manager at the dock took out a jade token, looked at it, and put it away. Then, he returned to a small house beside the dock and called over a burly man dressed as an itinerant cultivator. After saying a few words, the burly man left the house. The Wanchuan market was located at the center of the east-west traffic. The dock was very lively. There were many cultivators who made a living along the Wanchuan River. Usually, they would form evil sects at the dock. Therefore, there were many tea houses and restaurants here. This itinerant cultivator strolled in front of a few tea houses. When he saw an acquaintance, he went up to him. This acquaintance of his was wearing a brocade robe. It seemed that he was rich. The burly man went up to him. "Shopkeeper Zhang, where have you been making a fortune recently?" After saying that, he sat down at the table, poured himself a cup of tea, and drank it in one gulp. The man in the brocade robe chuckled. "Gu Daoyu, we meet again. You've always been well informed. This time, you're freeloading my tea. Do you have any news?" The burly man patted his chest and said, "When have I ever freeloaded? I have a life and death friend who has a position in the Chamber of Commerce. He manages a flying ship. This flying ship usually travels between the Wanchuan market and Linhai Prefecture to transport all kinds of goods. According to him, about 4 or 5 years ago, when he was passing through the Wanchuan River Valley, he encountered a 4th-rank demonic beast. Suddenly, a sword light fell from the sky and killed the demonic beast. Then, a strange ship that was flying extremely fast headed east. That brother of mine is also someone who has seen the world. He has seen flying warships and battles between Golden Core cultivators. However, the power of that sword light was not something that a Golden Core cultivator could compare to. There was also that strange ship. Even the gray rock raised by the retired emperor couldn't compare to it. Later, he guessed that the retired emperor might have gone out to sea again to find an opportunity to break through. After all, the retired emperor broke through to the Yuanying realm by going out to sea to find treasures. Now, he has already cultivated to the peak of the Yuanying realm. It is very likely that he went out to find an opportunity to break through to the Soul Formation realm. Head shopkeeper Zhang, this news is worth a pot of tea, right? The brocade-robed man waved his hand and said, "After talking for so long, it is all speculation. There is no actual evidence at all. You should be content with a small cup of tea." After saying that, he picked up the teapot and poured a cup of tea for him. The burly man picked up the teacup and drank it in one gulp. "Thank you, head shopkeeper Zhang. However, you must not spread this news. After all, it involves the higher-ups. If something happens, our small bodies won't be able to handle it." The brocade-robed man was a bit impatient. "Go away. Don't you know me? I have always been tight-lipped." A day later, the news that Wang Daoyuan left Beiyuan Xiuxian and went overseas to find an opportunity to break through to the Soul Formation realm spread throughout the entire Wanchuan market. Of course, not many people believed this news. After all, Yuanying cultivators were elusive. Rumors spread by low-level cultivators were not very credible. At most, they would be used as idle gossip. At this time, Wang Mingchen gave a final blow. He ordered the guardian of Wanchuan market to strictly prohibit such rumors from spreading. Those who violated the rules would be severely punished. After the order was issued, no one dared to speak in Wanchuan market. However, people could move around. Especially in the main markets of the Yen Kingdom, there were flying boats going to and fro. They could transport goods and people. A few days later, similar rumors began to spread in some of the larger markets in the north of the mountain and in Linhai Prefecture. The Yen Kingdom's imperial court ordered the guardian of each market to strictly prohibit cultivators from spreading the news. This time, the rumors were not only spread in the markets. Cultivators who went out to hunt monsters and collect spiritual herbs also spread the rumors. Gradually, the news reached the ears of the demonic beasts. In an ice palace deep in the Arctic ice plains, a few 5th-level monsters gathered together. One of them, a man with 2 dragon horns on his head, asked, "Have you heard that Wang Daoyuan left Beiyuan Xiuxian to find an opportunity to break through?" A very strong man answered, "I heard it from the juniors below, but we can't prove it." Another man with 2 beast ears smiled and said, "Without Wang Daoyuan, no one in the human race can threaten us. The last time he left, it took him decades to return. Do you want to take the opportunity to attack the Yen Kingdom and cripple the entire human race, so that Beiyuan Xiuxian will become our territory again?" Chapter 1024. The man with dragon horns shook his head. "With our strength, we can deal with the human forces on the surface. We've been asking about Wang Daoyuan all these years. This person always likes to leave some cards up his sleeves. Even if he really leaves, he should have left a lot of backup plans in the Yen Kingdom. If we attack rashly, the casualties will definitely not be small. If he doesn't leave, the 3 of us together are no match for him." The man with beast ears asked, "So we're just going to wait? What else can we do? Why don't the Snow Bear clan take action? The blood of the Dragon clan can't be shed for nothing." The burly man also said, "The Black Tortoise clan's bloodline is rare. We can't afford to be tortured. Even if Wang Daoyuan leaves, I won't do anything." The man with dragon horns smiled and said, "That's right. What happens to the human race has nothing to do with us. No one knows how vast the icy plains are to the north and east. No matter how powerful the human race is, they can't threaten our survival. Especially the Snow Bear clan, which lives in the depths of the icy plains. If we're not worried, what are you worried about? But it's hard to say about the Heavenly/Mountain Range. That place is suitable for humans to live. Once Wang Daoyuan broke through to the Soul Formation realm, would he still leave a way out for them? The demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range are anxious about this matter. We'll just watch the show. If the demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range gain an advantage, we'll take advantage of the situation and seize some territory. If the demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range are crippled, we won't stand out." The three demon kings quickly reached an agreement. They would not get involved in this matter first and wait for the demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range. Not only were the demons of the icy plains cowering, but the demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range were also very cowardly. After rumors spread everywhere for more than a month, the demons did not make any moves. The Wanshuan Chamber of Commerce's businesses were distributed too widely. Many of them were adjacent to places with more demons. It was a common occurrence for small groups of demons or individual rank 4 demons to attack industries. However, in the past month, the attacks had completely disappeared. It was unknown if the demons did not dare to attack rashly because they did not know the situation, or if they wanted to shrink their forces and attack with all their might. Wang Mingchen didn't make any big moves. He just quietly called back the Wang family disciples who were training in the remote areas. Now that there were more and more cultivators in the Wang clan, if a cultivator without a direct golden core elder wanted to stand out, he or she had to be extremely talented. Regardless of whether it was cultivation talent or talent in the various arts of cultivation, as long as one was strong enough, one would be able to receive the full support of the clan. However, the Wang clan now had very high requirements for cultivation talent. One had to have at least 3 spiritual roots and a primary spiritual root that was more than 7 inches in order to receive additional training. Those with 3 spiritual roots below 7 inches were not much different from cultivators with less talent. They had to rely on their own efforts to obtain sufficient resources. After all, cultivators with good talent were in the minority. Most of the clansmen with poor talent could only rely on hard work. Therefore, a large number of Wang clan members with average cultivation talent flocked to the Myriad Rivers Chamber of Commerce. He wanted to make some achievements, get a good job in the Chamber of Commerce, and get enough cultivation resources. Moreover, the Wang clan didn't just focus on cultivation talent and the 100 arts of cultivation. He also had the ability to do business and deal with affairs. Although not everyone could have these abilities, as long as they weren't too stupid and had enough experience, their abilities wouldn't be too bad. As long as they could train in this aspect, there was still a possibility of entering the upper echelons of the clan. In order to train and display their abilities, it was best to work in the various remote industries. Over the years, there were Wang clan disciples in various remote industries. To a large force, such a disciple's value was extremely high. Wang Daoyuan and Wang Mingchen's intention was to sacrifice some industries to lure the demons to make a move. It didn't matter if the industries were destroyed, they could be rebuilt in a few years. If the itinerant cultivators recruited by the Chamber of Commerce died, they could just give them more compensation. Later on, they could recruit more. Every time an outstanding disciple died, it would be a huge loss to the clan. Because there were too many family disciples working in the various industries, it was naturally impossible for such a large number of people to be mobilized without any news. After 2 to 3 months, the various industries of the Chamber of Commerce spread the news that the Wang clan had withdrawn their defenses. Once this news was out, more and more people believed that Wang Daoyuan had really left. Soon, the Wanshuan Chamber of Commerce's mine in the east of the Qi Kingdom was besieged by more than 10 level 3 demons. Although there was only one Zifu realm cultivator overseeing this mine, it had a relatively powerful defensive array formation. The demons couldn't take down the mine in a short time, and the Qi kingdom also followed the agreement with the Yan kingdom and sent people to chase the demons away. This test was a fuse. Since then, the Wang clan's industries in the sky/mountain range had been besieged by the demons many times. However, when the Wanshuan Chamber of Commerce had just established these industries, they had already made sufficient preparations. Every industry was protected by a sufficiently powerful defensive array formation, and the demons wouldn't be able to break through in a short time. The nearby countries also had an agreement with the Yan kingdom, so they didn't dare to not help. After all, Wang Daoyuan had gone out to look for an opportunity to break through. Back then, he had broken through and returned after going out at the peak of the Golden Core realm. Now that Yuanying had gone out at the peak of the Golden Core realm, the chances of him returning alive were higher. If they dared to break the agreement with the Yan kingdom, Wang Daoyuan would definitely take care of them and the demons when he returned. With the help of these countries, the industries that had been attacked by the demons didn't suffer much damage. At most, they would temporarily stop production, move the low-level cultivators to a safe place, and leave a few powerful cultivators to guard the territory. The Yan kingdom didn't make any big moves. They just expressed their gratitude to the countries that had helped. Then, they sent the Grey Rock to patrol and intimidate the demons. However, the demons weren't intimidated, and they started to become more aggressive. They were no longer satisfied with harassing the industries far away from the Yan kingdom. Instead, they targeted Linhai State and Serene South County. For the Wang clan, this situation was better. In Linhai State and Serene South County, the Wang clan focused on many industries. Even if the demons sent out 5th-level demons, it would be difficult for them to play any tricks. Most importantly, these places weren't far from Qingli City, and there were 5th-level puppets hidden in some places. The demons' probing attacks on Serene South County and Linhai State didn't work. The Wang clan continued to pretend to be weak, but they did their best to protect their industries. In the palace deep in the Arctic icy plains, the 3 demon monarchs gathered again. Snow Bear asked, "We listened to Ice Flood Dragon and didn't attack the Yan kingdom directly. Now, the demons at the Heaven/Mountain range have probed many times, but the Yan kingdom still hasn't made much of a move. It seems that Wang Daoyuan has indeed left Beiyuan Shuxin. What should we do next? Should we attack the Yan kingdom directly or continue to bide our time?" The burly man smiled and said, "Since the demons of the Heaven/Mountain range are anxious, there's no need for us to be anxious. So far, the demons of the Heaven/Mountain range have only sent 3rd-level and 4th-level demons. It only made some of the industries of the Myriad Rivers Chamber of Commerce unable to operate normally, but it didn't cause any substantial damage. The Yan kingdom hasn't sent out any Yuanying forces either. It's still far from a war. We definitely won't attack until the 5th-level combatants on both sides are dead." Ice Flood Dragon nodded. "Great Demon Monarch Mystic Ice is right. We're not in a hurry. Let's wait and see the commotion between the demons of the Heaven/Mountain range and the Yan kingdom. We'll attack when the outcome is decided. However, we still need to make some preparations. No matter what the outcome of the war is, we can't be at a disadvantage. If the Yan kingdom is weak, we'll cooperate with the demons of the Heaven/Mountain range to attack the Yan kingdom. If the Yan kingdom has the upper hand, we'll take the opportunity to occupy the east of the Heaven/Mountain range. As long as we don't attack first, we won't be at a disadvantage no matter what the outcome is." The 3 great demon monarchs of the Arctic icefield reached a consensus. The demons of the entire icefield began to make preparations. Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan settled down in the Zaijinshuan branch. Zhou Wan stayed in the Soul Pearl space and flipped through various books in the Valley of Beasts. Wang Daoyuan used his avatar to observe the movements of the demons in various places. At this moment, Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian were traveling in the northern part of Serene South County. Ever since the demons started to cause trouble, Wang Mingxian had sent them a message and asked them to return as soon as possible. However, the 2 of them were a little wild from traveling outside. In addition, they had some means of self-protection, so they traveled east slowly. It had been a few months, but they had just arrived in the northern part of Serene South County. Serene South County was located in the Heaven/Mountain Range. The southernmost part was Mount Huiyan, the easternmost part was the main mountain range, and the northernmost part was the boundary between humans and demons of the Arctic icefield. This place was where the Yen Kingdom and the two demon clans met. The Yen Kingdom's development center had always been in the southern part of Serene South County. It could be said that this place was a barren land with demon beasts often appearing. Wang Mingxian and Wang Mingren were resting in a forest. Wang Mingxian complained, "Big brother is too much." Father and mother went out to sea to find an opportunity to break through. What does that have to do with us? Why did he have to rush us back? We've traveled to many places in the northern part of the mountain range in the past few years, but we didn't see any demons. We wanted to find some suitable spiritual plants for fighting, but we didn't find anything. We've been out for more than 10 years and have a lot of doubts about cultivation. We should go back and ask ancestor myriad spirits. What's more, the two of us are completely relying on luck to find spirit herbs. It's better to ask the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce for help. The Chamber of Commerce's influence is spread over half of Beiyuan. Don't be angry. Let's go back with the flying boat. If you want to come out again, we can bring a nest of treasure hunting bees next time. A burst of laughter came. Your Highness, your brother is right. If you had gone back with the flying boat earlier, we wouldn't have been able to catch you. Little ones, grab them both. Remember, don't hurt them. They're the son and daughter of the most powerful man in Beiyuan, the younger brother and sister of the Yen Emperor. You really look like the Emperor Emeritus and Empress Dowager of the Yen Kingdom. Before he could finish his sentence, the roars of beasts rang out one after another, and the sounds of beasts running could be heard from all directions. A silver long sword appeared in Wang Mingren's hand. The body of the sword was decorated with a white tiger. Wang Mingxian had a gourd hanging on her waist. She stroked the gourd and a dozen vines appeared out of nowhere. She waved her hand and a green light sprinkled down. The vines began to grow crazily. Soul-breaking vine, protect the surroundings. Before she finished speaking, more than a dozen vines began to grow in a circle. The soul-breaking vine entangled the trees in a radius of more than 200 feet. The vines formed a fence with a radius of 200 feet. There were also many vines on the treetops, ready to attack at any time. A group of rank 3 wolf demons rushed over. The leading rank 3 upper-grade wolf demon jumped high and spat out a full moon. Wang Mingren waved the long sword in her hand. A silver light flashed and the full moon was cut in half. The silver light didn't stop and cut the wolf demon. The wolf demon opened its mouth and bit the silver light. Of course, it paid a big price. 2 of its fangs were cut off by the silver light. It opened its mouth and was about to howl when it stopped abruptly. A black vine pierced its abdomen and a blood-stained vine stabbed out from its back. The wolf demon didn't even have time to struggle before it collapsed. Chapter 1025. More than 20 third-rank wolf demons quickly surrounded them. These wolves all looked similar and were completely black, somewhat similar to the black cloud wolf. When the wolf pack saw that the 2 of them had dealt with a third-rank high-grade wolf demon so easily, they didn't dare to move forward. The voice from before sounded again, "You don't even dare to fight against 2 with more than 20 of you. What's the use of having you? All of you, attack together. I don't believe they can block all of us." Under his command, more than 20 wolf demons simultaneously jumped up from all directions, wanting to jump over the fence made of vines. Wang Mingren's face was full of disdain. "Half each. The east side is mine and the west side is yours." Before he finished speaking, 12 dazzling silver lights soared into the sky. After rising to a height of more than 300 meters, the silver lights converged and turned into 12 illusory longswords. Each longsword slashed at a wolf demon's neck. Wang Mingxian's side was even more relaxed. Dozens of vines stretched out and attacked the wolf demons. This time, the demon who could talk became anxious. He didn't expect that two middle-stage Zifu realm cultivators would have the means to kill more than 20 wolves at the same time. A large full moon fell from the sky, wanting to smash the two to death. As long as the person who cast the spell died, the spell would be broken. At this moment, a large, pitch-black dog appeared out of thin air, opened its mouth, and swallowed the full moon. Then its figure changed and turned into a muscular man wearing a black leather robe. This muscular man was Big Black. At this moment, less than 10 of the 20 wolf demons dodged the attack in the air and fled far away. The other wolves were all killed. Big Black landed on the ground and looked at the sky. It chuckled. Dao Yu bullying others with numbers is one thing, but a 4th-rank middle-grade demon actually dares to bully Zifu realm juniors. You're really shameless. At this moment, a black wolf that was more than 5 meters long descended from the sky. He shouted angrily at Big Black, "You're also a demon and a dog-type demon beast. You can be considered a close relative of my wolf clan. Why are you helping humans to kill fellow demons?" Big Black's face was full of disdain. "When I was young, I was just an ordinary puppy. I barely survived because my old master adopted me. If it wasn't for the second young master, I would have become a first-rank spirit beast at most and died of old age. But second young master gave me a large amount of cultivation resources, allowing me to cultivate to this day. The demon clan did not do me any favors. Master's family allowed me to grow from a dying puppy to where I am today. Who do you think I should help? Let's cut the crap. After dealing with you, I still have to escort the 2 children home." After saying that, it opened its mouth and tried to swallow the black wolf directly into its stomach. This black wolf was not weak. If Dahe played hard, it would not be able to swallow him. The black wolf spat out 2 large full moons in a row, but this spell was nothing in front of Dahe. It was directly swallowed into his stomach without even leaving a sound. When He Lang saw that his ultimate skill was completely restrained, he didn't dare to continue fighting. His body was wrapped in a layer of silver light, and he was about to escape. Dahe spat out 3 full moons in a row, which was the devouring spell. He Lang blocked with all his might, but he was only able to block 2 of them. The third one hit his head. He Lang was also thick-skinned. His head was seriously injured, but he just fainted. Wang Mingren was about to kill him with his sword, but Dahe said, "Don't worry, Mingren. This black wolf is not ordinary. It seems that he has the bloodline of a high-level demonic beast. Take him back. He may be of great use." Wang Mingren nodded, took out a demon-subduing gourd, and put He Lang into it. Dahe looked at the gourd and said with a smile, "If I had known you had this thing, I wouldn't have had to do it. Mingxian, don't be so stubborn. Mingxian wants you to go back as soon as possible for your own good. I received a message before that this period of time is not peaceful. The news that your father and mother went to sea was leaked. In recent months, the industries of the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce have been attacked hundreds of times. The demon clan sent a group of demonic beasts to deal with you too. They must have targeted you. If they send another 5th-level demonic beast, no matter how many means we have, we can't escape death." Then, he took out a flying boat. Wang Mingxian did not delay any longer. The 3 of them took the flying boat and headed southwest. This flying boat was a 3rd-level flying boat. It could fly 5,000 to 6,000 miles in 2 hours. A day later, the flying boat arrived near Serene South City. At this time, the formation of Serene South City had been opened. There were no traces of cultivators outside the city. Instead, there were many 3rd-level demonic beasts. Dahe did not dare to stay nearby and continued to drive the flying boat to the Jade Spring Peak in the southeast direction. At this time, a sharp voice came from the sky. "After waiting near Serene South City for more than half a month, I finally didn't waste my time. I really met a big fish. Looking at the appearance of these 2 little guys, they should be Wang Daoyuan's children. As long as I catch the 2 of you, Wang Mingxian will have to hold back." Then, a claw shadow that blotted out the sky fell from the sky. At this time, Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian were suppressed by the powerful momentum and could not move. Dahe wanted to cast a spell to resist the claw shadow, but it was suppressed by the force and could not use its spiritual power. The claw shadow fell, but it did not smash the flying boat. Instead, it dragged it up. At this time, a water blue light flashed, and the claw shadow was scattered. There was a sharp wail in the sky, and the previous momentum disappeared in an instant. Then, a huge white-feathered chicken with a wingspan of more than 100 feet appeared and shouted angrily, "Who dares to sneak attack me?" This white-feathered chicken had dealt with Wang Daoyuan before. When the red-feathered crow broke through the 5th-level tribulation, this guy came to make trouble. In the end, it was injured by Wang Daoyuan and escaped into the 9 heavens astral wind layer. It was only because its grandfather saved it that it escaped. Later, its grandfather fought with Wang Daoyuan in the north of the mountain and was killed directly. This white-feathered chicken never showed up again. A cultivator in a white robe appeared out of thin air, holding a black jade cauldron in his hand, and took the flying boat that Dahe was on into the cauldron. A chicken can cultivate to the peak of the 5th level, how strange. This was Jia Qi. Wang Daoyuan had asked him to secretly protect Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian. When they encountered danger before, Dahe could completely deal with it. Now that the Grand Demon King had attacked, he had to help. *T, your ancestor has the Phoenix bloodline. A Grand Demon King sneakily attacked 2 Purple Mansion realm children and a 4th-level mid-grade spirit beast. You've embarrassed the Phoenix clan. You evil creatures attacked the Yen Kingdom's property wantonly. This is breaking the agreement between the 2 races. Aren't you afraid that the Grand Emperor of the Yen Kingdom will punish you? The Grand Demon King of the Heavenly/Mountain Range had already attacked Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian. It was reasonable that Wang Daoyuan appeared now and killed all the demons in the Heavenly/Mountain Range. However, the demons of the Arctic Ice Plains hadn't attacked yet. If they only wiped out the demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range, the demons of the Arctic Ice Plains would lose their opponents and become a big threat to the human race. It was better to wait for the demons of the Arctic Ice Plains to attack and then stew them in a pot. The white-feathered chicken laughed like a rooster. If Wang Daoyuan was still in Beiyuan Shouxian, he would have already taken action when we attacked the Yen Kingdom's property. Now he hasn't done anything. It seems that the rumor is true. He went to sea to find an opportunity to break through to the Soul Formation realm. The last time he left, it took him dozens of years. He's only been gone for a few years now. By the time he returns, we'll have already flattened the Northern Abyss immortal realm. Jia Qi said disdainfully, I can easily deal with you, white feather chicken. There's no need for the Grand Emperor to do it himself. Don't leave if you have the guts. I'll go back and send the 2 children back to Qingli City first. When I come back, I'll fight with you. The white feather chicken was furious. You don't take me seriously. If it weren't for the 2 children, I would have used you to make chicken soup today. The white feather chicken flapped its wings and 2 gusts of wind came. Jia Qi turned into a beam of golden light and dodged the attack. He also threw out 2 Gui Water Divine Thunder. The white feather chicken didn't dare to be careless. A gust of wind surged around its body and condensed into 2 shields to block the Gui Water Divine Thunder. Unexpectedly, the Gui Water Divine Thunder penetrated the shields and hit its wings. The white feather chicken reacted fast enough and dodged in time. The Gui Water Divine Thunder only destroyed a few long feathers and left some wounds on its wings. Although it wasn't seriously injured, the white feather chicken was still frightened. The demons had few tricks. They had never seen a trick that could penetrate defensive spells. Wang Daoyuan, who was using Jia Qi's panoramic perception clone, also shook his head secretly. The 5th-rank beasts in Beiyuan were much weaker than those of the same rank in Qixing Si Shushin community. After all, there were too many 5th-rank beasts. It was inevitable that they would fight with each other. Many Yuanian cultivators made a living by hunting 5th-rank beasts. Gradually, the 5th-rank beasts' strength increased. On the other hand, 5th-rank beasts were rare in Beiyuan. Each of them could be called an ancestor. There were very few opportunities to fight. Naturally, their strength was not enough. Jia Qi laughed. With your little ability, you can't keep me here. Get out of here. The white feather chicken's strength was in its speed. When it was a 5th rank upper rank beast, the red-winged crow that had just finished its tribulation could entangle it for a long time. Jia Qi had learned most of Wang Daoyuan's spells. His techniques were the same as Wang Daoyuan's. Bullying a 5th rank peak-level white feather chicken didn't take much effort. The white feather chicken didn't dare to pester him anymore. You can leave, but you can't leave serene South City. I'd like to see how long the city's formation can resist me. Jia Qi didn't care about it. He took the flying boat and flew southwest. The white feather chicken was furious. It flew above serene South City. Just as it was about to attack the city's defensive formation, a silver light flew out from the city. The white feather chicken used its escaping ability and hurriedly dodged. However, it was still cut by the silver light. Its tail feathers were all cut off. Even the tip of its tail lost a piece of meat. The white feather chicken screamed in pain. It didn't dare to stay here any longer. It fled into the 9 heavens astral wind layer. This was the sword puppet left behind by Wang Daoyuan. After Wang Mingchen merged it with his sub-soul, he arranged for it to stay in serene South City. This sword puppet was a 5th rank upper rank sword puppet, Xian Ji. Its strength wasn't inferior to Jia Qi's. If it wasn't for the fact that it was afraid of being ganged up on by 5th rank beasts, it could have left the white feather chicken behind. Xian Ji returned to serene South City. The surroundings were peaceful again. Jia Qi brought the 2 children and Blackie all the way to the southwest. When they passed by Yuchuan Peak, they found that its spirit vein had been upgraded to 5th rank. This was expected. A few decades ago, Yuchuan Peak's spirit vein had already been upgraded to the peak of 4th rank. It was just that it was too difficult to cross the threshold of 5th rank, which was why it had been delayed until now. Although the formation was still 4th rank, with Lei Yanjinren holding the fort, there was no need to worry about the Grand Demon King. The flying boat landed in the palace of Qingli City. Jia Qi released Wang Mingren, Wang Mingxian, and Blackie from the Black Jade Cauldron. He brought them to the Imperial Study. Wang Mingchen was relieved to see his brother and sister back. Mingren, Mingxian, you guys are finally back. Serene South City sent a message saying that a Grand Demon King ambushed you guys. Thank you Uncle Jia for saving you. The demon race couldn't break through our Yen Kingdom's important industries and was looking for a breakthrough. The 2 of you are the best breakthrough. You guys can cultivate in the secret room behind the Imperial Study. Don't go out before the demon race is dealt with. After all, an elder brother was like a father. The 2 of them were still a little afraid of Wang Mingchen. In addition, the difference in strength was too great. They could only cultivate in the Imperial Study. Chapter 1026. Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian went to the cultivation room behind the Imperial Study. Wang Mingchen asked, Father, now that the great demon king of the heaven/mountain range has made a move, should we make a move? Don't worry. If we take care of the heaven/mountain range's demons now, no one will be able to restrain the demons in the frozen icy plains. If there's no opponent, they'll find another. Only humans can be a match for the demons in the frozen icy plains. At that time, most of the Yen Kingdom's energy will be restrained by the demons, and they won't be able to expand. It's best if we can lure the great demon king of the frozen icy plains to make a move. I'll take the opportunity to capture them all. Then we'll flatten the heaven/mountain range and support some half-demons in the frozen icy plains to suppress the demons. Wang Mingchen nodded. Father, you're so thoughtful. How should we set up defenses now? The demons don't dare to make a move in Qingli County. But they've already started to attack Serene South County, and Linhai County might become their target. With the heaven/mountain range in between, it won't be easy for us to reinforce Linhai County. Your great-grandfather is guarding there. The black ice tortoise's cultivation has reached superior grade tier 5. It won't be a problem to deal with the Great Demon King in Linhai County. Xianjia is also there. Xianjia's sword intent foundation isn't the Beiyuan sword intent, but after many years of training, his strength is comparable to a Great Demon King. With them there, Linhai County doesn't need any reinforcements. If the demons really invade, Jia Qi's avatar can also go there. I know a little about the abilities of the Great Demon Kings in the Heaven/Mountain Range. They're not Jia Qi's match. I've subdued another expert in the Sea of 7 Stars. If he can't hold on, I'll send him over. Wang Daoyuan was naturally referring to Spirited Flame. This guy was already at tier 6 and was much stronger than those Great Demon Kings. Although he was inexperienced, his strength was there. Beating a Great Demon King wasn't a problem at all. Jia Qi instructed Wang Mingshan on a few more matters before concealing himself and leaving Clear Glass City. The demons in the Heaven/Mountain Range focused their attacks on the Yen Kingdom's hinterland. They didn't need to care about other places. The Grey Rocks patrol was limited to Serene South County and Qingli County. Jia Qi didn't run too far, he just quietly came to the vicinity of the oasis. Over the years, the Wang family had been constantly migrating ordinary clansmen to this place. There were already close to 1 million clansmen by the Hundred Rivers Lake, second only to the Wang family's traditional territory east of Qingli River and north of Qingxi. If the demons were to cause trouble here, there would definitely be a lot of casualties. More than 1,000 miles away from the coast of Linhai Prefecture, there was a city with a radius of 30 miles. This was Linhai City, and the prefecture overseer manor was also in the city. In the past, as the main city of Linhai Prefecture, Linhai City was bustling with life. Now, everyone knew that the demon clan wanted to attack the Yen Kingdom. Most of the rogue cultivators in Linhai State had already fled to the west of Heaven/Mountain Range. A small number of rogue cultivators already had some businesses in Linhai Prefecture and were unwilling to give them up. On top of that, the Wang clan was powerful enough. As long as they stayed in the city, they wouldn't have to worry about losing their lives. After all, they had been able to force the demon race to seek peace decades ago. Now, they would not be completely defeated by the demon race. There weren't many people outside Linhai City, and the city had already been cleared. Apart from the city guards, no one was allowed to go on the streets. The defensive formation had also been activated. There was a rank 5 spirit vein under Linhai City, which was a remnant vein of Heaven/Mountain Range. Therefore, the defensive formation of Linhai City was also rank 5. With this defensive formation, even a Grand Demon King wouldn't be able to do anything to Linhai City in a short period of time. Although the atmosphere in Linhai City was tense, nothing major happened. However, in the past month, there were traces of rank 4 demonic beasts in the river near Linhai City. These fellows were sneaky and only observed Linhai City from afar. Although they didn't attack the city directly, Linhai City was still prepared for a big battle. When the White Feather Chicken attacked Serene South City, there were more demonic beasts near Linhai City. Many demonic beasts even dared to approach the city walls to observe, as though a storm was about to come. Wang Jian was even more spirited. He ordered the family disciples to guard the various formation corps while he personally took charge of the core formation corps. Half of the city guards stayed on the city walls while the rest patrolled the streets to prevent rogue cultivators from causing trouble. More and more demonic beasts gathered outside the city. Soon, an upper-grade rank 5 black flood dragon jumped out of Wanchuan River. The flood dragon opened its mouth and spat out water arrows. These water arrows didn't seem to have any power, and the spirit energy fluctuations were also very weak. However, when they landed on Linhai City's defensive formation, there was a series of rumbling sounds. The defensive light barrier was also constantly shaking. An upper-grade rank 5 defensive formation was always lacking when facing an upper-grade rank 5 demonic beast. However, it was not an easy task to break through the formation. At this moment, rank 4 demonic beasts were constantly appearing near Wanchuan River and the seaside. They approached Linhai City and attacked the defensive formation. Of course, Linhai City's defensive formation wasn't to be trifled with. It was difficult to break it in a short period of time. However, it wasn't a solution to continue like this. Who knew how many demonic beasts would participate in this matter? Wang Daoyuan's clone, the mystic ice tortoise, was currently hiding at the bottom of the Wanchuan River estuary. Using his divine sense to sense the demonic beasts outside, Wang Daoyuan was in a good mood. I originally only wanted to scam the Heaven/Mountain Range and the extreme frost ice plains. I didn't expect the East Sea demonic beasts to join in the fun. Just nice, I'll scoop up these demonic beasts. When I break through to the Mahayana realm, I'll sweep the West Sea. The entire Beiyuan Shouxian will be impregnable. He then controlled the mystic ice tortoise to use sneak attacks. A cold wind started to blow around Linhai City and it was getting stronger and stronger. The surrounding rivers started to freeze and some rank 4 demonic beasts even started to tremble. However, the cultivators in Linhai City didn't feel any discomfort at all. A moment later, dark clouds covered the sky and hailstones fell from the clouds. Rather than hailstones, it was more like icicles and spikes. Like before, Linhai City wasn't affected at all. The Black Flood Dragon immediately felt that something was wrong. However, the mystic ice tortoise was hiding at the bottom of the sea and he really couldn't find it. He raised his head and spat out a giant water ball in an attempt to break the mystic ice tortoise's spell. In the end, the water ball turned into an ice ball and smashed down once more. The Black Flood Dragon's ability was to control water, but he couldn't control ice. When their cultivations were about the same, the ice element was even more effective against the water element than the earth element. Moreover, the mystic ice tortoise wasn't an ordinary rank 5 half-divine beast. It was controlled by Wang Daoyuan, a soul formation cultivator. Although he couldn't directly use the mystic ice tortoise's body to unleash the power of a soul formation cultivator. However, his control over the laws and spiritual power wasn't something a rank 5 demonic beast could compare to. Otherwise, the spell cast by the mystic ice tortoise wouldn't be so powerful. The Black Flood Dragon hurriedly dodged the ice ball and used his water spiritual power to protect himself. The large-scale spell cast by the mystic ice tortoise had limited destructive power against a single powerful individual. He could withstand the icicles falling from the sky, but those rank 4 demonic beasts couldn't. A rank 5 half-divine beast's sneeze could shake a rank 4 demonic beast half to death, let alone casting a spell. Rank 4 demonic beasts would be seriously injured if they were hit by an icicle. Soon, dozens of demonic beasts outside the city were killed. The Black Flood Dragon shouted, "Retreat to the sea." The rank 4 demonic beasts felt as if they had been pardoned. They used all their skills to escape from Waterfront City. This kind of large-scale spell consumed a lot of spiritual power, and the mystic ice tortoise couldn't maintain it for long. After the demonic beasts retreated, he immediately stopped the spell and quietly hid at the bottom of the river. Turtle-type demonic beasts were all experts in hiding their auras. The Black Flood Dragon searched the coastal waters for a long time but didn't find any clues. He could only leave resentfully. Even if he found the mystic ice tortoise, it wasn't a big deal. It was just exposing the existence of the rank 5 sword puppet mystic armor. At that time, he wouldn't be able to leave. The Black Flood Dragon retreated with many demonic beasts. Waterfront City didn't suffer any substantial losses. A portion of the city guards left the city and collected the corpses of the dozens of demonic beasts outside the city. A rank 4 demonic beast's corpse could be sold for millions of low-grade spirit stones. Dozens of demonic beasts were also a considerable amount of wealth. Originally, the human race and the East Sea demonic beasts didn't have much conflict. He really didn't know why these idiots wanted to get involved. After suffering a loss in Waterfront City, the next few days were peaceful. In the entire Yen country, no demonic beasts attacked again. However, everyone knew that under the peaceful situation, there were undercurrents surging. In order to act more realistic, Wang Mingchen asked for help from the Divine Weapon Pavilion, the Tai Sword Sect, and the Archaic Mysteries Sect. As for the Wind Snow God Palace, he was afraid that he would still need help. After all, they were at the edge of the Arctic ice plains. Once the demonic beasts of the Arctic ice plains made a move, the wind snow god palace wouldn't have a good time. When the Yen country started to ask for help, the demonic beasts didn't stay idle either. In the Hidden Dragon Mountain area at the northernmost end of the sky/mountain range, the battle between the two demonic beasts had already stopped. However, the Hidden Dragon Mountain didn't calm down. There were demonic beasts constantly coming and going. At first, only rank 4 demonic beasts came from the sky/mountain range to the Arctic ice plains. Later, many rank 5 demonic beasts came and went. After a few days, a fire phoenix flew out of the sky/mountain range and came to a cave at the northernmost end of the Hidden Dragon Mountain. At the eastern edge of the Mirage Fog Sea, a black flood dragon rose into the sky and flew to a cave at the northernmost end of the Hidden Dragon Mountain. At this time, the 4 demonic beast kings were gathered in the cave of the Hidden Dragon Mountain. The fire phoenix looked at the ice flood dragon and snow bear. The black tortoise bloodline has an extremely high status among the demonic beasts of the Arctic ice plains. If he's not here, will your words count? The ice flood dragon smiled and said, "Of course." Black Ice's descendants have withered, and he's unwilling to send his descendants to participate in the battle. As long as Snow Bear and I agree, we can mobilize the subordinate demonic beasts of the black tortoise bloodline. I had expected the Flame Phoenix Greater Fiend Monarch to take action. However, I don't understand. The Black Flood Dragon bloodline has been living in the depths of the East Sea for a long time. No matter how arrogant the humans are, they can't occupy the entire East Sea. Why are you involved in this matter? The Black Flood Dragon snorted. Although the East Sea is vast and boundless, its spiritual power is far inferior to that of the sky/mountain range. Once the demonic beasts of the sky/mountain range are destroyed by the humans, the East Sea demonic beasts will have to flee. Without rank 5 spirit chi, I'm afraid I can't even maintain my current cultivation level. My descendants won't be able to break through to rank 5 either. We are all over 10,000 years old and have been struggling at death's door for so many years. We don't have much time left. We can only hope to nurture some outstanding descendants. For the future of our descendants, I have to fight. The Ice Flood Dragon nodded. Brother Black Flood Dragon's choice is very correct. If the East Sea demonic beasts retreat, they won't have another chance in the future. However, we don't have to risk our lives. The Extreme Zero Ice Plains is vast and boundless. Even places far away from the sky/mountain range have many high-grade spirit veins. No matter how powerful Wang Daoyuan is, can he let the humans occupy the Extreme Zero Ice Plains? The Fire Phoenix sneered. The humans can't live in the depths of the ice plains, but a soul formation cultivator can kill all the rank 5 demonic beasts in the ice plains. He can support some half-demonic beasts who like to live in the ice plains and gradually occupy the Extreme Zero Ice Plains. Although the half-demonic beasts have the strengths of both the humans and demonic beasts, they also have the weaknesses of both races. The upper limit of their cultivation level is too low, so they won't cause much trouble. In the long run, the Extreme Zero Ice Plains will be the half-demonic beasts' territory. Chapter 1027. The Ice Dragon fell into deep thought. He only knew that the frozen ice field was extremely vast. 10,000 years ago, he had gone deep into the frozen ice field many times, but he couldn't find the border. Unlike humans, demons didn't like to record everything. Therefore, he didn't have any records left by his ancestors. He didn't know how big the frozen ice field was. The demons of the frozen ice field had already adapted to the environment. If Wang Daoyuan dared to go deep into the frozen ice field, the demon kings might be able to defeat him. As long as they could defeat Wang Daoyuan, the demons of the frozen ice field would be able to preserve their vitality. No matter how powerful a peak-stage Yuanian cultivator was, he would turn into a pile of dirt in 2,000 years at most. After he died, it was not impossible for the demon race to make a comeback. But he had never considered what would happen if Wang Daoyuan really reached the soul formation stage. Although there was only a thin line between the early stage of the soul formation stage and the peak stage of yuanying, the difference in strength between the two was like heaven and earth. Unless it was a peerless genius, peak stage yuanying cultivators were like ants in the hands of soul formation cultivators. Wang Daoyuan could kill the Silver Rock Demon King when he was at the mid-stage of yuanying. When he reached the peak stage of yuanying, no one dared to fight him. If he really reached the soul formation stage, he wouldn't be able to defeat him with the help of the frozen ice field. When that time came, there would really be no way out for him. Seeing that he was silent, the ice dragon continued to persuade him. Ice dragon, this is our last chance. You know what kind of talent Wang Daoyuan has. Greater Demon Monarch Flamephenix's subordinates had investigated Wang Daoyuan very thoroughly. He is only 400 years old now. At first, the Wang family was only a foundation establishment family. In just 400 years, the Wang family became the most powerful force in Beiyuan. He also became the most powerful overlord in Beiyuan. Do you think he can't reach the soul formation stage with such talent? When he comes back, we will have to face a soul formation cultivator. Wang Daoyuan is no saint. If we demons don't make a move, he won't let us off either. The only way to survive now was to wipe out most of the humans in Beiyuan before he returned. No matter how powerful Wang Daoyuan was, it was impossible for him to kill all the demons without the support of the human race. No matter how powerful he was, there would come a time when he would pass away in meditation. As long as he dies, our demon race will be able to make a comeback. Greater Demon Monarch Flame Phoenix sighed. We can only blame ourselves for only knowing how to fight among ourselves back then. We felt that humans were too weak and not worth risking our lives for. Decades had passed, and the human race had become a huge threat. If they had made up their minds to wipe out the humankind back then, they wouldn't be in such a predicament today. One mistake has already allowed the human race to rise again. If we make another mistake, our demon race will no longer have a chance. Regardless of whether your Ice Plains demon race makes a move or not, our Heaven/Mountain Range demon race will fight to the death. The Black Dragon added, the same goes for the East Sea Monster tribe. The Snow Bear also persuaded the Ice Flood Dragon, I think Flame Phoenix and Black Dragon are right. When Wang Daoyuan breaks through to the soul formation realm and returns, we will have no chance. Although I don't have the bloodline of a divine beast, I am not willing to submit to the human race. You are a semi-divine beast. Are you willing to be a dog for the human race? Under the persuasion of the 3 demon monarchs, the Ice Flood Dragon slammed the table. The Ice Plains demon race can participate in this matter, but after we wipe out the human race, we have to take more benefits. Flame Phoenix quickly replied, okay, after we wipe out the human race, the territory north of the Wanchuan River will all belong to the Ice Plains demon race. South of the Wanchuan River, part of it will be given to the Ice Plains demon race. When the time comes, as long as the Ice Plains demon race likes the territory, you can have the first pick. The Black Dragon also expressed that he had no objections. The Ice Flood Dragon smiled and said, since the 2 of you are so generous, the Ice Plains demon race will also fight for the future of the demon race. The Snow Bear was overjoyed. Both of you have tested the strength of the Yen Kingdom. What do you think we should do next? Flame Phoenix said, in the Sky/Mountain Range, Silver Rock's grandson, Emu, has also become a demon monarch. He ambushed Wang Daoyuan's 2 children in Serene South City, but he was easily defeated by Jia Qi. After that, he wanted to vent his anger on Serene South City, but his tail was cut off by the sword puppet left behind by Wang Daoyuan. As soon as she said that, the other 3 demon monarchs couldn't help but laugh. The Snow Bear was even more straightforward. Although Silver Rock died early, his strength is undeniable. What's wrong with his grandson? It's fine if he's weak, but he also looks like a white-feathered rooster. Now, he can't even keep his tail. He will be a bald rooster in the future. As a demon monarch, he has embarrassed himself to this extent. Flame Phoenix shook her head. Although Emu's strength is far inferior to his grandfather, he is not inferior to Silver Rock in terms of speed. He is even faster. I have seen emus wound. I am not confident that I can take the same attack. He is fast and powerful. This sword puppet's strength is probably above ours. The Black Flood Dragon Demon Monarch continued. My son Xian Lin led a group of rank 4 demons to attack Waterfront City, but they were also defeated. They didn't even see their opponent before they were smashed back by a hail. According to him, the hail had traces of the Black Tortoise bloodline. The Ice Flood Dragon sighed. It should be Xian Bing's youngest son, Xian Yan. Back then, he was captured by Wang Daoyuan. I don't know what method was used to make him follow Wang Daoyuan wholeheartedly. The Black Tortoise bloodline is above my dragon race in terms of controlling water, but in terms of controlling ice, they might not be stronger than me. Xian Yan's cultivation shouldn't be at the demon monarch level, so I can easily suppress him. Waterfront City is near the river and the sea. Xian Bing, Snow Bear, and the Black Flood Dragon can all unleash great strength. Although Flame Phoenix Dao Yu isn't good at fighting near the water, he can intercept the Yen Kingdom's reinforcements. That Jia Qi isn't easy to deal with either. If he goes to Waterfront City and relies on the rank 5 defensive formation, we won't be able to take him down. If he comes to reinforce Waterfront City, the Flame Phoenix Demon Monarch will hold him back and then we will attack together to kill him. Attacking Waterfront City is secondary. The main thing is to kill more Yuanian cultivators. The Flame Phoenix nodded. The Ice Flood Dragon Demon Monarch's idea is good. Let's do it this way. Keep an eye on Waterfront City. If the Yen Kingdom dares to send reinforcements, we will deal with them in the Wanchuan River Valley. The Snow Bear and Black Flood Dragon didn't have any objections and nodded in agreement. The Ice Flood Dragon smiled. In that case, let's go back and gather people. We will attack Waterfront City in a month. Yen Kingdom's Qingli City. After Wang Mingchen requested for reinforcements, the Divine Weapon Pavilion, Tai Sword Sect, and Archaic Mysteries Sect all sent people over. At this moment, 6 Yuanian cultivators were gathered in the Imperial Study of Qingli City. Perfected Lei Yan had been staying at the Jade Spring Mountain. Now, he also came to the Imperial Study for a discussion. When Wang Shui heard that the Yen Kingdom was attacked by demonic beasts, he naturally ran back. Along with him was the Archaic Mysteries Sect's Perfected Shantian. The Divine Weapon Pavilion Sect Master, Perfected Yunhe, and the current Sect Master of the Tai Sword Sect, Perfected Swordless, also rushed over to help. Although they didn't ask for help from the Zhou nation previously, they naturally wouldn't stand by and do nothing now that the relationship between the two countries had reached this stage. The Grand Emperor of the Zhou nation, Perfected Fengyi, personally came with the ancestral phoenix flag. After everyone arrived, Wang Mingchen cupped his hands and said, "Thank you for coming to help, seniors." Perfected Yunhe smiled and said, "There's no need for that. Our 5 families are of the same breath. Back when our spiritual energy had just recovered to stage 5, we relied on your father to resist the demons and buy time for us to cultivate. Now that he's not around, we naturally have to help him guard his home. Brother Xuantian's arrival is within my expectations. With Patriarch Yin Yang protecting him, the Grand Demon Monarch can't hurt him. Disciple Nephew Swordless, why are you here? We are going to deal with the Grand Demon Monarch. Even if you have the Tai Divine Sword, your strength is far inferior to the Grand Demon Monarch's." Perfected Swordless waved his hand and a long sword appeared in his hand. "I didn't want to use a sword, but I have no choice now." At that moment, a clanging sound came from the sword. An old man with white hair and beard appeared from the sword. "Junior, you're really outrageous. Do you think I'll embarrass you by following you?" Perfected Shantian gasped. "Demon-slaying sword ancestor, you're awake." The white-haired elder glanced at him. "The descendant of Patriarch Yin Yang has good talent. I've met quite a few old friends this time. Brother Yin Yang, Brother Ling Long, and Brother Fiend Refinement are all here. No, Brother Myriad Spirit is here too. Stop hiding. We haven't seen each other in tens of thousands of years. Come out and have a chat. The demon-slaying sword ancestor's main body was the demon-slaying cauldron. It was an heirloom Dharma artifact of the Divine Weapon Pavilion's sect master. The other artifact spirits came out as well. Patriarch Myriad Spirit looked at the demon-slaying sword ancestor. How strange. Ever since the demon-slaying Divine Lord passed away, I haven't seen you come out. The demon-slaying sword ancestor sighed. There's nothing I can do. I'm a sword spirit. If the junior's sword cultivation isn't up to par, they can't even touch my body. After tens of thousands of years, I've finally met a sword cultivation genius. Patriarch Yin Yang was curious. Hasn't the Valley of Beasts been closed for tens of thousands of years? Why is Brother Myriad Spirit here, and you've even acknowledged Emperor Yen as your master? Patriarch Myriad Spirit sighed. The Valley of Beasts has withered. The only remaining disciples are the Zhou clan. Mingxin's talent is excellent, and he's already inherited the position of Valley of Beasts sect master. Naturally, I'll acknowledge him as my master. Patriarch Yin Yang glanced at Wang Mingxin. Not bad indeed. This kid isn't even 200 years old, and he's already reached peak Jindan. With you protecting him, Yuanying shouldn't be a problem. After a few more years, he'll be able to form his nascent soul. A 200-year-old Yuanying is extremely rare even before the formation of decimating heaven abyss. The weapon spirits chatted for a long time, and the others didn't dare to disturb this group of old ancestors. After a long time, Daoist Master Yunhe said, Mingxin, we're all here to help you. Regardless of seniority, just tell us how to deal with the demons. Wang Mingxin cupped his hands to everyone. Martial granduncles, I've invited you all here to deceive others. We deliberately released the news of Emperor Father and Emperor Mother's departure. Daoist Master Feng Yi was stunned. Child, how dare you take this risk? These old demons are all from 10,000 years ago, and they're not weak. Even if we can win, Yan Kingdom will suffer heavy losses. This is Emperor Father's intention. He's already broken through to soul formation and is now hiding in the Mirage Fog Sea. He wants to use this opportunity to lure out all the great demon kings and deal with them all at once. So that when he goes out in the future, he won't have to worry about a fire in his backyard. Hearing this, everyone was a little shocked. Beiyuan Xiuxian had only appeared for a few decades, and there were already soul formation cultivators. Daoist Master Xuantian's face was full of joy. With soul formation cultivators, Beiyuan doesn't have to worry about the demons causing trouble anymore. The strength of a soul formation cultivator and a Yuanying cultivator are worlds apart. Any means left behind can make the demons not dare to invade. Mingxin, just tell us what to do. What Emperor Father means is to lure out all the rank 5 demons, and then he will personally take care of them all. At the very least, all the great demon kings must be killed. Previously, the demons have tentatively attacked Shanbei's Serene South City and Linhai City in Linhai State. Emperor Father left behind backup plans in these two places. Previously, when the demons tried to probe, they suffered quite a lot. The next targets of the demons are likely to be these two places. Martial granduncles, rest in Qingli City first. When the demons take action, we'll go over to support them. I just hope that you can restrain your strength and not scare the demons away. Only when the demons see hope of success will they invest more strength and strive to kill all the rank 5 demons in Beiyuan. Chapter 1028. Venerable Windwing sighed, the younger generation will surpass us in time. Since tens of thousands of years ago, the human race has been suppressed by the demon race. For more than 1,000 years, we can only defend against the demon race. Daoyuan is only 400 years old and already has the ability to deal with the demon race. Venerable Lei Yen said, if everyone has no objections, we'll follow Mingxin's plan and wait here. Yen country's delicacies aren't ordinary, you have to try them. The Yuanying cultivators who came to help stayed in Qingli City. At this time, Qingli City was also forbidden from entering and leaving and had set up a formation to block messages. Other than the imperial study, messages couldn't be sent out from other places. There were also red-feathered crows and gray rocks patrolling nearby, so the demon race couldn't find out what was going on here and weren't afraid of being leaked. 20 days later, traces of demon beasts appeared in Linhai City again. At first, there were only rank 4 demon beasts poking their heads around, but after a few days, the Black Flood Dragon appeared again. The city defense preparations were already done. There were many city guards on the city walls and many high-grade rank 4 crossbows were placed on the city walls. These things weren't a threat to rank 5 demon beasts, but with so many crossbows, it wouldn't take much effort to kill a rank 4 demon beast. When Wang Jian saw the rank 5 demon beast appear, he immediately sent a message to Qingli City. After receiving the message, Wang Mingchen immediately gathered all the Yuanian cultivators. When everyone was present, Wang Mingchen cupped his hands and said, "Martial granduncles, the demon race has attacked Linhai City. Now, there's only a rank 5 Black Flood Dragon and a group of rank 4 demon beasts from the East Sea. These guys can't cause too much pressure to Linhai City's defense, they should just be a means to lure out the Black Ice Tortoise and Sword Puppet. The demon race is likely to attack there, we should prepare to go to Linhai City to help." Previously, there were rank 4 demon beasts harassing Yunnan City, so we can't rule out the possibility of the demon race attacking Yunnan City. Venerable Lei Yan asked, "How should we distribute the manpower?" Wang Mingchen answered, "There's me and Myriad Spirit Ancestor in Qingli City, we can block a few demon kings. Yunnan County doesn't have a rank 5 formation protection, so it's easy to break through. It would be difficult to defend for too long with just one sword puppet. Without the support of a grade 5 formation, this place might be even more dangerous than Waterfront City. Therefore, there must be 2 experts who can defeat the Grand Demon King and stay in the north of Qingli County to support Yunnan City at any time." The 10,000 Spirits Pagoda had many grand cultivators and was built by Earth Immortals and grand cultivators together. In addition, it was specially used to deal with demons. Although he was only a low-grade 5th-tier demon, a great demon king was not enough for him to play with. If Wang Mingchen had an early-stage Yuanian cultivation and the 10,000 Spirits Pagoda, he would have no problem dealing with 4 or 5 demon monarchs at the same time. Unfortunately, he was only at the peak of the Gold Core realm and could not exert the power of the All-Spirits Pagoda. The greater demon monarch wanted to escape, but he didn't have the ability to make him stay. Thunderflame Sage nodded, "Since it's more dangerous here, I'll stay. My cultivation level is already close to the late Yuanian stage. With the power of the exquisite pagoda, I can definitely defeat a grand archfiend. I've been staying at Jade Spring Peak all these years, so I can be considered to be familiar with the place." Once he encountered a greater demon monarch, it would be easier to deal with them. Dao Yuan's Grey Rock is also nearby. Together with the sword puppets in Yunnan City, it won't be a problem to deal with the demons. If 2 or 3 greater demon monarchs come, we can also deal with them. If they target Yunnan City, Dao Yuan can just attack directly. If they target Waterfront City, there won't be too many demon monarchs coming, so I don't need to be afraid of them. At this moment, Jiaqi walked in from outside. The battle has already started in Waterfront State. I have Lei Peng's flying boat left behind by the retired emperor. Let's hurry over. With that, he released Lei Peng's flying boat. Daoist Shantian, Daoist Yunhe, Daoist Swordless, and Daoist Windwing all boarded the flying boat. Jia Qi personally controlled it. After Lei Peng's flying boat rose into the sky, it sped towards the southeast like lightning. Although the flying boat was completely sealed, these people were all Yuanian cultivators and could use their consciousness to observe the surrounding scenery. Even a powerful descendant like Daoist Master Xian Tian was extremely shocked by the speed of Lei Peng's flying boat. Martial nephew Dao Yuan is really capable. Although this flying boat looks strange, its speed is really frightening. I'm afraid it can fly around 40,000 miles in 2 hours. In Beiyuan Xiuxian continent, it can reach anywhere in 3 days. Wang Daoyuan, who was in the Zijin River branch, was also preparing for the final battle. He called Zhou Wan out of the space in the Spirit Pearl and gave her the Xian Xian Cauldron. Lord Shadow Master, the demon race might attack Serene South City or Waterfront City. This place is less than 10,000 miles away from Yunnan City, but it's a bit far from Waterfront City. If we continue to stay here, we won't be able to take care of Waterfront City. Wait here. If something happens in Yunnan City, just wait here. As long as you fly to the westernmost end of the valley and directly cross the heaven/mountain range from the Nine Heavens astral wind layer, Yunnan City will be close by. I'll leave the Xian cauldron to you. Even if the demons attack Yunnan City, you can block a few grand demon kings. I'll rush to the edge of the Mirage Fog Sea now. If the grand demon kings attack Waterfront City, I'll take care of them all. Zhou Wan nodded. Leave Yunnan City to me. You can go to Waterfront City without worry. Wang Daoyuan didn't say anything else and drove Lei Peng's flying boat to Waterfront City. At this moment, there were more and more demon beasts in Waterfront City. Once these demon beasts came out, they directly attacked the defensive formation of Waterfront City. It seemed like they were forcing the Black Ice Tortoise to attack. Wang Daoyuan controlled the Black Ice Tortoise and sent a message to his fifth granduncle, asking him to release the sword puppet mystic armor. Soon, a silver light flew out of the city and went straight for the Black Flood Dragon after passing through the defensive formation. The Black Flood Dragon didn't expect that there would be sword puppets in Waterfront City. In such a short time, it was hard for him to cast a strong enough defensive technique. He could only use his movement technique to dodge this fatal strike. Xian Jia was snatched from the Zhenhai sect. The Zhenhai sect was a branch of the Imperial Regency. The Imperial Regency's puppet technique was far from the Shunlian schools, so Xian Jia was much weaker than Xian Ji. Along with the fact that Xian Jia was controlled by Wang Jian, the strength it could use was even weaker. If Xian Ji sneak attacked the Black Flood Dragon, he would definitely be killed in one strike. Unfortunately, Xian Jia wasn't strong enough and dodged the sword. Only the remnant force of the sword landed on the Black Flood Dragon's tail, leaving a small wound. If the sneak attack couldn't kill him, it would be hard to kill him. Wang Jian knew his limits. He knew that his strength and control of laws weren't enough. If he continued to control the armor to attack, he wouldn't be able to do much and would only waste his spiritual energy. He ordered Xian Jia to stay around Waterfront City to threaten the Black Flood Dragon. Wang Daoyuan had already told him that the reinforcements would only take a little more than 2 hours to arrive. He didn't want to kill the enemy and only wanted to delay time. Waterfront City could wait, but the monster race didn't dare to. 2 average-looking flood dragons led a group of rank 4 demonic beasts to attack the defensive formation. These 2 flood dragons were also pitch black, but they had a horn on their head. They were most probably the result of the Black Flood Dragon going around. Their cultivation was much lower too. They were both grade 5 lower grades. The city guards on the city walls were prepared and controlled the giant crossbows to attack the beasts. The light barrier of the defensive formation blocked the outside but not the inside. The arrows could be shot out, but the attacks from the outside would be blocked by the light barrier. Under the interference of the arrows, the grade 4 beasts didn't dare to go all out. The Black Flood Dragon was fully focused on Xian Jia and didn't dare to act rashly. The 2 grade 5 flood dragons didn't care about the arrows and went all out to attack Waterfront City. 2 water dragons flew out from the defensive light barrier and tangled with the 2 flood dragons. Wang Jian was only at Golden Core late stage. Relying on the defensive formation to fight against 2 grade 5 flood dragons, he was under a lot of pressure. However, most of the pressure was taken by the formation core. It wasn't a problem for him to last for 2 hours. The opponents were restrained and the battle entered a stalemate. The monster race didn't increase their strength. 2 hours passed quickly and Lei Peng's flying boat entered the 10,000 River Valley. As long as they passed through the 10,000 River Valley, they would reach Waterfront City. Although the 10,000 River Valley was narrow, late-stage Yuanian cultivators didn't have to worry about anything. 15 minutes later, the 10,000 River Valley was right in front of them. At this moment, a huge fireball fell from the sky and headed straight for the flying boat. A black jade cauldron flew out of the boat and swallowed the fireball. Jia Qi didn't want to bother with this opponent and wanted to use the flying boat's speed to shake it off. However, 5 monster kings suddenly appeared in front and blocked the flying boat's path. The 5 monster kings were Fire Phoenix, Ice Flood Dragon, and Bald Tail White Feather Chicken. Wang Daoyuan had interacted with them before but not the Snow Bear and Black Flood Dragon. Wang Daoyuan was currently hiding at the southern edge of the Mirage Fog Sea. He was still 20 to 30,000 miles away from Waterfront City. Almost all the monster kings of the monster race had come out, but there should be some hidden level 5 monsters that hadn't shown themselves yet. These 5 monster kings didn't have much of an advantage against Jia Qi and the other Yuanian cultivators. He wasn't in a hurry to help them now. Instead, he could delay these monster kings for a while and force them to summon more monsters. He might be able to force out the hidden monster kings or at least some monsters that had just broken through to level 5. The trap was already set. Since he had this opportunity, he would try to kill as many monsters as possible. Wang Daoyuan didn't take Lei Peng's flying boat. Instead, he restrained his aura and flew slowly to Waterfront City. At the same time, he divided his attention and controlled Jia Qi to deal with the monsters. With 5 monster kings blocking the way, Daoist Shantian and the others left the flying boat. Jia Qi put away the flying boat and said with a smile, "The monsters really think highly of themselves. With just the 5 of you, it seems like you can't take us down. Bald Tail White Feather Chicken, the feathers on your tail haven't grown out yet?" Silver Feather was furious. He flapped his wings and was about to attack. Fire Phoenix stopped him immediately. "Dao, you are very confident. You have 4 Dharma artifacts with weapon spirits. Naturally, we don't have the confidence to win quickly. However, your cultivation is too low. Forcefully activating high-grade Dharma artifacts will consume a lot of your spiritual energy. We have plenty of time to waste with you. When your spiritual energy is exhausted, you will all die here. Let's see how the humans can stop us then." Before he finished speaking, the long sword in Daoist swordless hand shone brightly. An old man with a white beard appeared out of thin air. "I haven't woken up for tens of thousands of years. Are the mixed-haired birds now so arrogant? Even those pure-blooded phoenixes didn't dare to be arrogant in front of humans. Can't we stop you? Let's see which monster can stop me, the Demon Slayer Sword Ancestor." Ice Flood Dragon chuckled. "In terms of age, you are indeed old seniors. When you were at your peak, us juniors didn't even have the qualifications to fight with you. But times have changed. You are only low-grade level 5 Dharma artifacts now. Even if your power is extraordinary, you can at most contend with us. It won't be easy to defeat us. We don't have the confidence to win quickly, so why be in a hurry to make a move? There's still a good show in Waterfront City. It won't be too late to make a move after watching the show." Chapter 1029. Wang Daoyuan immediately sensed the Xian ice turtle, which was hiding near the mouth of the river. Using his spiritual sense, he could see Waterfront City 1,000 miles away. At this moment, the sword puppet Xian Jia was still facing off against the grade 5 Black Flood Dragon. The Black Flood Dragon was slightly weaker and didn't want to suffer anymore. The Xian Jia wanted to preserve its strength and didn't dare to attack too much. It only slashed out a few times to scare the 2 grade 5 Flood Dragons and share some of the pressure for Wang Jian. Wang Daoyuan muttered to himself, "In the extreme cold ice plains monster race, the dragon race and the black tortoise race have the highest status. The dragon race has the Ice Flood Dragon, an extremely strong monster king. For the black tortoise race to be able to fight against the dragon race, they must have an expert. In the Xian Ice Turtle's memories, it also has a peak grade 5 father, so the black tortoise race should also have a monster king. Last time when it fought the Black Flood Dragon, it was taught a lesson by the Xian Ice Turtle. This time, it still dares to swagger over, so it must have a backup plan. The backup plan to deal with the Xian Ice Turtle should be the black tortoise race's monster king. He should be able to control the Grade 5 Xian Ice Turtle to deal with the peak Grade 5 Black Tortoise bloodline. From Jia Qi's side, the human race doesn't have an advantage. If this continues, the monster race won't need to send out more people to win. I have to add some pressure to the monster race. Thinking about this, Wang Daoyuan ordered the Grey Rock to fly over from the Nine Skies astral wind layer. The Grey Rock was currently near the Wanchuan market and would be able to reach Waterfront City in 2 hours. Although his cultivation base was only at the middle 5th stage, he was not far away from the upper 5th stage. He wasn't strong enough to deal with the Monster King, but under Wang Daoyuan's control, dealing with the Grade 5 Black Flood Dragon at Waterfront City wasn't a problem. The Rock race had a saying that they countered the Dragon race. Of course, normal Rock were just a variant of the Phoenix race. They were only known for their speed, and their combat strength wasn't the top among god beasts, only above average. They wouldn't be able to gain an advantage when fighting with most true dragons. But against dragons and other dragons, they were their natural nemesis. Moreover, the Grey Rock came from the West Ocean. Even though it wasn't too powerful, it possessed the bloodline of an ancient beast. Just this point alone showed that he had the potential to compete with mythological beasts. Demigod beasts of the same level were no match for him. Along with the sword puppet mysterious armor, dealing with the 3 black flood dragons around Waterfront City was not a problem. After giving the order to Hui Peng, Wang Daoyuan no longer cared about him. On Jia Qi's side, he was facing off against the 5 great archfiend kings. It would take a few hours before a victor was decided, so Wang Daoyuan didn't have to worry about it for now. He focused his attention on the Black Ice Tortoise in order to deal with the Greater Demon Monarch with the Black Tortoise bloodline. The Mystic Ice Tortoise couldn't directly cast large-scale Dharma spells like last time. The Black Ice Tortoise sneaked into the vicinity of Waterfront City and sent a message to Wang Jian, asking him to control the sword puppet Profound Armor and attack the upper-grade Class 5 Black Flood Dragon. He would wait for an opportunity to launch a sneak attack and see if he could take down the Black Flood Dragon. Wang Jian received the message, and the sword puppet Profound Armor once again turned into a silver light and attacked the Black Flood Dragon. The Black Flood Dragon didn't dare to let down his guard, so this attack didn't work. The difference in strength between the two sides wasn't great, and Wang Jian's control over his strength was still too weak, so he wasn't much of a threat to the Black Flood Dragon. After exchanging blows for a dozen breaths, it was only a draw. Suddenly, a foot-long icicle flew out of the water. Although the Black Flood Dragon wasn't strong, he still had experience. He knew that this attack could heavily injure him, so he hurriedly dodged. The Profound Armor condensed sword shadows and chased after the Black Flood Dragon. This was also a type of Dharma spell called Spirit Lock Sword. It used sword chi as a chain to lock the enemy. Once the sword chi wrapped around the enemy, the circulation of spirit power would be suppressed. The Black Flood Dragon was already having a hard time dodging the Mystic Ice Tortoise's methods, so how could he have time to dodge the Spirit Lock Sword? The sword chi quickly wrapped around his body. He only felt that the circulation of his spirit power was greatly hindered, and the flow of his spirit power became slower and slower. He wanted to break free from the sword chi, but he was powerless. The Ice Tortoise's icicle was less than 300 meters away from him. At such a close distance, it was difficult for him to use his spirit power. He was already in a situation where he would definitely die. At this moment, another icicle fell from the sky and shattered the Ice Tortoise's icicle. The icicle that appeared later also shattered at the same time. Both sides should be about the same strength. An exclamation came from the astral wind layer. "My son, Xian Yan, your strength has already caught up to me. What evil spell did Wang Daoyuan cast on you to make you betray the Black Tortoise race and work for the human race?" Before he finished speaking, an icy blue tortoise that was more than 30 meters long descended from the sky. "Xian Yan, why don't you come out and meet me?" Xian Yan flew out of the river and transformed into a muscular man in an icy blue robe. The demons have no hope. If you don't want the Black Tortoise bloodline to be severed, surrender as soon as possible. Hearing this, Great Demon King Mystic Ice was stunned. "I'm your father." The black tortoise bloodline is rare. When you were young, I treated you like a treasure. Have you forgotten? At this moment, Xian Yan's soul was trembling, as if he wanted to break free from Wang Daoyuan's control. This was normal. The higher one's cultivation, the stronger one's sensing ability. When one's own flesh and blood were together, it would naturally cause resonance. However, Wang Daoyuan was already hiding nearby. At such a close distance, an upper-grade 5th stage clone could not break free from the control of a soul formation cultivator. Xian Yan shouted, "There's no point in talking. Attack!" With that, he condensed 3 icicles and attacked Great Demon King Mystic Ice. Mystic Ice revealed a look of surprise. Xian Yan's technique was too exquisite. His cultivation was clearly lower than his, but the speed at which he condensed the icicles was faster than his. The consumption of spiritual power was smaller and the power of the icicles was almost the same as his. He opened his mouth and spat out a gust of cold air, condensing an ice wall in front of him and blocking the 3 icicles. The 2 ice tortoises were about the same strength, so they started a war of attrition. The upper-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragon was trapped by the Spirit Lock Sword. The 2 low-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragons hurriedly went to help. All the power of the mystic armor was used to maintain the Spirit Lock Sword, so it could no longer stop the 2 Black Flood Dragons. Moreover, the mystic armor only contained 3 5th stage Spirit Gathering Pearls. This kind of high-intensity battle could only last for an hour at most. Wang Jian did not dare to let him continue. He controlled the mystic armor to give up on the Spirit Lock Sword and continue to return to the top of Waterfront City. Using the cover of the formation, he delayed the 3 demonic beasts. The 2 sides continued to be in a stalemate. 2 hours later, the Grey Rock clone arrived at the astral wind layer above Waterfront City. At this moment, the upper-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragon was too far away. The mystic armor could not help. The Grey Rock's cultivation was slightly lower, so it was difficult for him to quickly kill the upper-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragon. Great Demon King Mystic Ice was even more so. Her Black Tortoise bloodline defense was extremely strong. Even if he shrank into his turtle shell and fought with the Grey Rock could not kill him. The Grey Rock also targeted one of the upper-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragons. This fellow's dragon blood concentration was lower and his cultivation was lower. Naturally, he was not strong. In addition, he was naturally restrained. It should not be a problem to deal with him. The Grey Rock was wrapped in astral wind and swooped down at an extremely fast speed. The 2 small Black Flood Dragons were fighting with the water dragons created by the formation. By the time they reacted, the Grey Rock's sharp claws had already grabbed the head of one of the small Black Flood Dragons. The sharp claws pierced through the small Black Flood Dragon's skull. The small Black Flood Dragon only struggled a few times before it completely lost its life. A 5th stage dragon species needed to cultivate for thousands of years. It was gone just like that. After killing one dragon species, Wang Daoyuan continued to control the Grey Rock to attack the other dragon species. Seeing the 2 of its kind being killed, the upper-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragon's eyes were about to pop out. It raised its head and let out a furious roar. He wanted to help, but the mystic armor used the spirit-locking sword again. He could not care less about saving his own kind and could only hurriedly dodge the attack. The low-grade 5th stage mixed blood dragon species had no resistance in front of the middle-grade 5th stage Grey Rock. The other small Black Flood Dragon was also quickly killed. After killing the 2 troublesome fellows, the Grey Rock started to attack the upper-grade 5th stage Black Flood Dragon. At this moment, Wang Daoyuan was multitasking and controlling Jia Qi at the same time. Great Demon Kings, how is the big show in Waterfront City? Why don't we go and take a look? The 5 Great Demon Kings were a little anxious. With Great Demon King Xian Bing and Great Demon King Xian Lin, they should have dealt with Waterfront City long ago. Especially Great Demon King Xian Jiao. Xian Lin was his son and the situation there was unclear, so he was naturally worried. Since the few of you are unwilling to give up, then let's go and take a look. The 10 peak Yuanying experts flew towards the east together. 2 hours later, they arrived near Waterfront City. The two black tortoise bloodline beasts were still fighting at a leisurely pace, and they were evenly matched. The mystic armor had used up a lot of spirit energy and had already entered the city to recover. The black flood dragon, Xian Lin, didn't dare to fight the gray rock and could only use the Wan Chuanhe to dodge the attacks. There were 2 black flood dragon corpses at the side, and the corpses of the 4th stage beasts were all over the ground. Xian Jiao wanted to save his son, but Jia Qi stopped him. Didn't we agree to watch the show? Dao Yu, why are you in such a hurry? Xian Jiao glanced at him and cursed in his heart, you're not in a hurry. The one being beaten is my son. At this time, Xian Lin already had several 1-foot-long wounds on his body. Blood was constantly oozing out. The gray rock kept circling above the river. Xian Lin hid at the bottom of the river and couldn't completely avoid his detection. Once he was discovered, he would send a few wind blades over. Xian Jiao thought about it and knew that he wasn't Jia Qi's match. The number of great demon kings on both sides was about the same. Even if there were stronger and weaker ones, the victor couldn't be determined in a short time. He cursed angrily, Great Demon King Xian Bing, are you trash? Your cultivation level is 1 level higher, but you can only fight to a draw against your own son. Great Demon King Xian Bing was furious and naturally didn't want to give in. I didn't want to participate in this, but you guys insisted on coming. I don't know what evil spell Wang Daoyuan used to make my son Xian Yan not recognize me. He's especially strong. The Demon Slayer Sword's artifact spirit appeared again. I thought the demons were powerful. In the end, this is all they have. When the gray rock kills the black flood dragon, we will have the advantage. Jia Qi chimed in, Yao clan only have such little resources, yet you dare to have designs on my human clan. We humans still have Thunderfire Perfected Lord who hasn't made a move. Dao Yu should know about the sword puppets in Serene South City. When they come, the great demon kings won't be able to leave. Fire Phoenix smiled and said, Extreme Arctic Ice originally had 3 great demon kings. Our heavenly/mountain range can't only have 2. Golden Winged Tiger, humans look down on us demons. Come out and show us what you're capable of. A tiger's roar came from the astral wind layer, and a white figure descended from the sky. The white figure went straight for the gray rock. Fortunately, the gray rock was fast enough. He turned into a gust of wind and dodged the attack. The white figure landed. It was a snow-white tiger. There was a pair of golden wings on the tiger's back, and its eyes were blood-red. He glanced at Linhai City. The cultivators controlling the giant crossbows on the city wall were trembling. Jia Qi still looked indifferent. They really do have a backup plan, but it's not a big deal. I can still hold on for a period of time while fighting 1 against 2. Thunderfire Perfected Lord should be arriving soon. With his cultivation level close to the late stage Yuanying and the purple gold exquisite pagoda, it shouldn't be a problem for him to take down a great demon king. Black Flood Dragon snorted coldly. The Ice Plains demons and the heavenly/mountain range demons have experts. How can the East Sea dragons not have experts? Ancestor, I'm incompetent and not a match for the humans. I can only ask you to come out. Chapter 1030. Hearing this, all the humans and demons present were shocked. The black dragon was at the peak of the 5th level. To be able to make him respectfully call him ancestor, he should be far above him in terms of strength and age. The black dragon and the other great demon kings had been in a deep sleep since the 5th level spiritual energy disappeared more than 10,000 years ago. They didn't wake up until their spiritual energy recovered. A 5th level beast could last for more than 10,000 years, which was basically the limit. Those who were much older than the black dragon could only be 6th level beasts. Yuanying and semi-god realm cultivators were worlds apart. It was the same for the demons. While everyone was guessing, huge waves rose on the sea. When the huge waves approached the Linhai state, they were raised by the shallow seabed. When the huge waves reached the shore, they were already more than 10 miles high. The waves reached the shore and swept for nearly 100 miles. Ever since Wang Daoyuan began to set a trap for the demons, the ordinary people in the Linhai state began to move inward. They had moved all the property that could be moved away, so the loss was not great. However, there were still many industries along the coast that could not be moved. When the huge waves hit, those industries were completely destroyed. After the huge waves reached the shore, a black dragon head appeared on the top of the waves, which was no different from a real dragon. The waves receded, and the dragon species revealed itself. The head and neck of this dragon species were exactly the same as those of a real dragon. Its 4 claws had 5 fingers, and its tail also had a thick mane. Unfortunately, it was carrying a turtle shell, which was exactly the same as the nether water black turtle. From the looks of it, it should have the bloodline of a real dragon and a black tortoise at the same time. A demon with 2 divine beast bloodlines might seriously affect its cultivation talent because of the conflict between the 2 bloodlines. Only in very rare cases would there be 2 bloodlines that complemented each other. Such a divine beast bloodline was far more talented than a half-divine beast, and it was not much worse than a real pure-blooded divine beast. Judging from the appearance of this dragon turtle, it should have dragon blood and black tortoise blood that complemented each other. As for whether it had the bloodline of a demon other than a divine beast, it was hard to say. The dragon turtle floated quietly in the air. All the humans and demons present felt a great pressure. The trace of spiritual energy emitted from its body made everyone tremble with fear. After a dozen breaths of time, the dragon turtle spoke, "Xian Jiao, you're too useless. The strongest among these humans is only at the late yuanying stage. You can't even take them down." Xian Jiao didn't dare to disobey. He cupped his hands and said, "These people have extraordinary strength. Except for Jia Qi, the others all have magic tools that have been passed down for tens of thousands of years. Even if we use all our strength, it will still be very difficult for us to win. I'm incompetent, so I can only ask the old ancestor for help. Back then, I fought with Sir God Ling He of Divine Weapon Pavilion and suffered some injuries. Then, I have been recuperating. It didn't take long for the concentration of spiritual energy in Beiyuan to drop below level 6. I'll use the secret hibernation technique I inherited from the Black Tortoise clan to reduce the loss of my lifespan. When you made peace with the human race, I had just woken up, and the other awakened monsters had yet to recover their strength. I thought that since most of us monster clan experts were left behind 10,000 years ago, the speed of our recovery would be much faster than that of the human clan. I didn't expect that the human clan would produce an anomaly like Wang Daoyuan. His cultivation speed is faster than the monster clan's recovery speed. Even I didn't have the confidence to defeat him. After hiding at the bottom of the sea for decades, my spiritual energy has only barely recovered to level 6. I really don't have the confidence to defeat Wang Daoyuan, who is at the peak of yuanying. However, it's nothing to deal with juniors like you." The human clan was stunned. Sir God Ling He was the former sect master of Divine Weapon Pavilion. He had already passed away 20,000 years ago. This old fellow had already become a level 6 monster 20,000 years ago. Although he couldn't unleash his full strength due to the lack of spiritual energy now, he was still able to control his strength. Yuanying cultivators couldn't compare to a level 6 monster's ability to control his strength. Moreover, he was already a level 6 monster. Yuanying cultivators would find it difficult to fight against a level 6 monster even if they had magic artifacts that had been passed down from generation to generation. Since you've been hiding for 20,000 years, why didn't you continue hiding? Why did you have to come out and die? The dragon turtle's calm demeanor disappeared because it did not discover where the person who spoke was. On the other hand, the human clan cultivators were overjoyed. They were all very familiar with Wang Daoyuan, so they could naturally recognize his voice. The dragon turtle roared, "Who are you? Why are you hiding here?" Wang Daoyuan's figure appeared above Linhai City. He didn't hide his aura at all and completely overshadowed the dragon turtles. He activated his domain divine ability and enveloped the group of monsters. The monster clan was no stranger to Wang Daoyuan. When they saw him appear, they were a little afraid. As long as I get rid of all of you, Beiyuan's monster clan won't be able to do anything. Do you want to give up resisting and let me deal with you, or do you want me to personally send you away? The dragon turtle sneered. Domain divine ability with the power of spatial laws. If it's just these juniors, I'm afraid they can only wait to be killed. However, Dao Yu, don't forget that I'm still here. Although I'm not as strong as you, I can still delay you for a while. You're dreaming if you want to kill all of us. With that, a whirlpool appeared in the Thousand Rivers River. In just 2 breaths' time, the whirlpool expanded to a diameter of 50 kilometers. Under the absorption of the whirlpool, the river stopped flowing into the sea. Instead, the seawater flowed into the mouth of the river. Then, the dragon turtle drew a water column from the whirlpool and attacked toward the east. He wanted to rely on the power of the Thousand Rivers River to break through the restrictions of spatial laws. Wang Daoyuan didn't care. He used the power of his domain to suppress the whirlpool and the water column. Under his suppression, the whirlpool shrank visibly, and the water column's impact also weakened rapidly. The dragon turtle's spiritual power surged violently. The whirlpool below expanded again, and the water column's impact also increased. He roared, "Are you still waiting to watch the show? I've just recovered my 6th level cultivation and don't have enough spiritual power. I can't maintain it for long. Hurry up and rush out. Every single one of you can escape. If the monster clan doesn't have a monster king, they won't even be able to cause trouble for the human race in the future." It wasn't that easy for the monster clan to escape. Daoist Master Cloud Crane and the other Yuanian cultivators all had inherited spiritual weapons. They might not be able to take down a monster king, but holding him back for a few hours was no problem. Fire Phoenix and Blood-Eyed Golden Winged Tiger wanted to use their wings to fly out, but Daoist Master Cloud Crane's demon refining cauldron came crashing down from the sky. Wang Daoyuan also used the power of space to weaken their spiritual power. Daoist Master Swordless waved the Demon Slayer sword in his hand, and a terrifying sword aura slashed out. Fire Phoenix and Blood-Eyed Golden Winged Tiger hurriedly dodged, but they were still injured by the sword aura. The dragon turtle was still stubbornly holding on, but Wang Daoyuan didn't want to waste any more time with him. A 20,000-year-old dragon turtle. Its meat probably won't be cooked until it's soft. I won't leave you with an intact corpse. As long as the bones and dragon pearl are still around, I can reluctantly accept it. 30 bolts of heavenly water thunder instantly appeared beside the dragon turtle. The dragon turtle focused all his energy on competing with Wang Daoyuan. There was no chance for him to dodge the sudden appearance of heavenly water thunder. All 30 bolts of heavenly water thunder entered the dragon turtle's body. After a series of muffled sounds, the dragon turtle stopped moving. With a wave of his hand, Wang Daoyuan stored the corpse into the spirit pearl space and handed it to his clone, Hunning, to examine its memories. As the descendant of a ghost immortal, Hunning was also good at this kind of work. After taking care of the dragon turtle, the remaining monster kings were nothing to be afraid of. Are you going to give up resisting and let me deal with you, or do you want to be slowly played to death? The black dragon scolded angrily, "You killed my ancestor. This hatred is irreconcilable. We have the bloodline of divine beasts. How can we be slaves to a human?" These monster kings wanted to surrender, but Wang Daoyuan didn't dare to accept them. After all, they weren't spirit beasts that he raised. He couldn't completely trust them, or he would follow the same path as the Valley of Beasts. "Uncle Masters, do you want to use these monster kings as practice, or do you want me to deal with them directly?" Before the others could speak, the Demon Slayer Sword Ancestor shouted, "Junior, you're quite powerful, but I wasn't bad either. I haven't fought in tens of thousands of years. Let me enjoy myself first." Perfected Xian Tian continued, "Let us practice. After this battle, there will be no more monster kings in Beiyuan. I'm afraid we won't have a chance to fight monster kings in the future." Wang Daoyuan nodded. Then, go ahead and practice. With me around, these monster kings can forget about escaping. These monster kings also knew that this was the setting sun of Beiyuan's demons. At this moment, they no longer had any thoughts of surviving. All of them used their full strength to fight the Yuanian cultivators. The battle lasted for more than 2 hours. Both the humans and demons were exhausted. Ice Flood Dragon looked up and laughed. Ha ha ha, awesome. These artifact spirits have also fought with our ancestors. To be able to fight them before they die, they won't have lived in vain. Wang Daoyuan, we underestimated you, resulting in today's disaster. There's no way for us to survive today. Before we die, we have one last request. Wang Daoyuan smiled and said, don't worry. I won't kill all the demons. However, in the future, the demons will no longer have the ability to threaten humans. They will only become humans' vassals and cultivation resources. Ice Flood Dragon shook his head. I know that. The demons are still very valuable to humans. You won't destroy the demons, nor will you sever our bloodline. I want to beg you to kill me personally. You can be considered a peerless hero to be able to lead the humans to victory and completely defeat Beiyuan's demons. It's an honor to die at your hands. The other monster kings also spoke up, requesting Wang Daoyuan to kill them personally. Wang Daoyuan sighed. Everyone has been famous for more than 10,000 years. You should have a dignified death. I won't use any tricks on you. I'll send you on your way. With that said, he condensed 10 sword shadows and beheaded all the monster kings. As for Xian Lin, he had long been killed by Grey Rock. Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, thank you for coming to help. Without you, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to fish out this stage 6 dragon turtle. I don't have much use for the monster king's corpses. Each of you can take one. This time, they were quite tempted. Beiyuan Xiuxian still didn't have a mid-grade stage 5 spirit vein. Naturally, there wouldn't be any mid-grade stage 5 spirit items. And these monster kings' corpses were all peak stage 5 refining materials. Even the demon beast meat was an extremely precious ingredient. After everyone declined for a while, they began to choose the demon beast corpses. Daoist Windwing naturally chose the Fire Phoenix's corpse. Using the Fire Phoenix's blood essence to nourish the Phoenix flag could also increase its power. Daoist Swordless chose the blood-eyed golden-winged tiger. This thing was mainly used for killing. The refining materials on its body were compatible with sword cultivators. Daoist Cloud Crane chose the Black Ice's corpse. After all, it had the Black Tortoise bloodline. Its turtle shell was very suitable for refining. Daoist Shantian took the Snow Bear's corpse and said with a smile, I wonder if the stage 5 Monster King's bear paw taste good. They all knew their limits and didn't choose the Ice Flood Dragons and Black Flood Dragons corpses. Dragon species had pseudo-dragon pearls, and their value was much higher than other half-divine beasts. Wang Daoyuan put away the other stage 5 demon beast corpses and said with a smile, Seniors, you've used up a lot of your spiritual power. Follow me to Linhai City to rest. Previously, everyone had fought the monster kings with lower cultivation. They could only rely on using up a lot of spiritual power to activate their legendary magic artifacts. Now that their spiritual power was almost exhausted, they urgently needed to meditate to recover. Naturally, they had no objections to Wang Daoyuan's suggestion. Wang Jian also closed the city barrier array and personally went to the city gate to welcome everyone. Chapter 1031. Everyone landed at the city gate. Wang Jian cupped his hands and said, Junior Wang Jian greets seniors. Daoist Master Feng Yi smiled and said, There's no need to be so polite. In terms of seniority, we are even lower than you. You are now at the late stage of the Golden Core realm. With Daoist Yuan's help, it won't be long before you can shatter your Golden Core and form your nascent soul. We can address each other as equals. Wang Jian was no longer polite. Then, Dao Yu, please enter. The place with the densest spiritual energy in the city is the City Lord's Mansion. Please rest in the City Lord's Mansion first. After settling down a few people, Wang Jian and Wang Daoyuan came to the main hall of the City Lord's Mansion. Wang Jian looked at Wang Daoyuan with a gratified expression. When I first took over the family, the Wang family was only a foundation establishment family. At that time, the dream of all the clansmen was to recreate the glory of our ancestors. After all these years, the development of the family has long exceeded my imagination. Even my own cultivation has surpassed the ancestors. But I never expected that you could break through to the soul formation realm and become the one and only soul formation cultivator in Beiyuan Shoshin. Wang Daoyuan chuckled. The future of the family will be even greater. Without the restrictions of the demon clan, there will be places for the clansmen to live everywhere. The spiritual energy in Beiyuan Shoshin will gradually recover. In the future, there will be others in the family who will break through to the soul formation realm. By the way, how are the losses in Linhai Prefecture this time? Wang Jian sighed. The losses are not great, but there are also some casualties among the cultivators. When the rumors of you leaving Beiyuan Shoshin spread, I arranged for people to transfer the ordinary clansmen to Qingli County. Although the demon clan came aggressively, there were no casualties among the ordinary clansmen. It's just that before the manpower of the coastal industries could be completely withdrawn, the rank 4 demons began to come out to sweep them. Dozens of clansmen guarding those industries died. The clansmen who died and were injured are compensated well. The industries don't matter. As long as there are spirit stones, they can be recovered at any time. The grandfather and grandson chatted for a long time. Zhou Wan sent a message. She learned that the demon clan had been dealt with and had returned to Qingli City. After meditating for a day in Clear Glass City, the cultivators had recovered more than half of their spirit energy. They all had important matters to attend to, so naturally, they wouldn't stay here for too long. Jia Qi flew the flying boat and sent everyone to Wanchuan Market. Daoist Xiantian cupped his hands and said, now that many of the demon monarchs have been eliminated, there are no more demons to wreak havoc in the east and the Arctic icy plains. It's time for us to return. Seniors, why are you in such a hurry? Why don't we stay in Qingli City for a while? Daoist Xiantian smiled and said, we appreciate Dao Yuan's good intentions, but the demonic beasts here have been cleared. We still need to hold down the fort at the West Sea. We also gained a lot from this bloody battle with the greater demon monarch. He needed to go back and meditate in seclusion. Who knows, he might be able to break through. When you hold the divine transformation ceremony, we will come and listen to your preaching. Wang Daoyuan did not urge him to stay. After all, not all cultivators cultivated like him, with almost no bottlenecks. Especially Daoist Xian Tian and the others, they were not young anymore. In the past, because they did not have level 5 spirit qi, they were stuck at half-step yuanying for hundreds of years. They had long passed the golden period for cultivation improvement. Although they were not in a bad state yet, it was not easy to break through. After they exchanged some pleasantries, they left Wanchuan Market. There was no need to rush the divine transformation ceremony. Zhou Wan only needed to train for a while and she would be able to break through. After she broke through, the 2 divine transformation ceremonies would be held together. 1 investment, 2 gifts. This was what it meant to be thrifty. Wang Daoyuan also took Lei Peng's flying boat to Qingli City. In the imperial study, Wang Shui was dealing with some matters. Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, congratulations, 12th uncle, for finally cultivating to the yuanying state. Wang Shui waved his hand. Compared to you breaking through to the divine transformation realm, this is nothing. When I formed my core, Mingchen was not yet born. Now, he is about to form his nascent soul. I have just formed my nascent soul. It is nothing. How's the matter of the cultivation technique? I asked a powerful cultivator to help me in the Heavenly Mystery Tower. It has been deduced to the peak of the 5th rank. When I deduced the art of overturn the sea, I also integrated the body refining function of the true dragon physical conditioning art. The art of overturn the sea is now a brilliant cultivation technique that can cultivate both essence and qi. That powerful cultivator wanted to help me reach the 6th rank, but my spiritual sense was too weak to continue. With my cultivation talent, the divine transformation realm is too far away. My current state is not bad. Then let's talk about it after you break through to the divine transformation realm. By then, your spiritual sense will be stronger and you will be able to stay in the illusion for a longer time. By the way, where are the 3 children? My niece-in-law is back. The 3 children are with her in the harem. At this moment, a foundation establishment cultivator walked in from outside the door. He took out a beast skin book. Greetings, Your Majesty. Greetings, Prime Minister. This is the list of losses sent by Yunnan County. Wang Shui waved his hand and the beast skin book returned to his hand. Just as the foundation establishment cultivator was about to leave, Wang Daoyuan said, "Wait a moment. What's the matter with your spiritual power? Not only does it come from your own cultivation, but it also seems to come from the outside world. Moreover, this spiritual power doesn't conflict with your own spiritual power. Instead, it seems to complement each other. This external spiritual power doesn't seem to be cultivated by humans. Instead, it seems to be the spiritual power of dragons." The foundation establishment cultivator cupped his hands and said, in reply to 7th great uncle, "I was previously in charge of the Clear River Carps on Jade Spring Peak. Later on, for some unknown reason, I became connected with a Clear River Carp who had awakened the bloodline of dragons. Father then asked His Majesty for the secret method to control spiritual beasts and turned Ink Carp into his natal spiritual beast. Mo Lin and I have been cultivating together, and the speed of our cultivation has improved greatly." Wang Daoyuan naturally knew about natal spiritual beasts. In fact, cultivating with the help of natal spiritual beasts was the most authentic inheritance in the Valley of Beasts. The founding ancestor of the Valley of Beasts, the supreme god of beasts, had domesticated a true dragon as his natal spiritual beast. Later on, many powerful people appeared in the Valley of Beasts, and each of them was good at different things. The inheritances in the Valley of Beasts were also diverse, and the art of taming beasts was not too conspicuous. In the past, in order to kill the 7th level evil dragon, almost all the higher-ups in the Valley of Beasts had died in battle. However, many of the branches were still preserved. In addition to the 4 hall masters and a few elders, it was completely possible to revitalize the Valley of Beasts. Later on, for some unknown reason, the spiritual beasts domesticated by the disciples of the Valley of Beasts all attacked their masters. All the branches in the Valley of Beasts were destroyed, and almost all the inheritances were cut off. Wang Daoyuan was worried that the family would repeat the same mistakes, so he didn't spread the inheritance of taming beasts. "I see that your face looks very familiar. What's your name? Who's your father?" In reply to 7th great uncle, "My name is Wang Dirun. My father is the clan leader." "No wonder you look so familiar. So you're Mingshan's son. Alright, you can leave now." After bowing, Wang Dirun left the imperial study. Wang Daoyuan asked, 12th uncle, "You can also cultivate this natal spiritual beast technique. You raised Wang Xianlong from a young age. Communicate with him more, and it won't be too difficult for you to understand him. You and Wang Xianlong can also increase your cultivation speed. There are still too few people in the family who can shoulder the burden. You have to work harder. This technique is not bad, but I heard that in the past, the Valley of Beasts suffered heavy losses in order to kill the 7th level evil dragon, and there was no opportunity for them to rise again. Later on, because of the rebellion of the spiritual beasts domesticated by the family, the inheritance was completely cut off. Our Wang family doesn't have such a strong foundation. If the demon beasts rebel, the losses will be great. Therefore, Mingshan and I don't dare to make the decision to let the other disciples cultivate this technique." Wang Daoyuan thought for a while. This was indeed a risky matter. Then asked the myriad spirits' ancestor about the reason why the spiritual beasts domesticated in the Valley of Beasts rebelled. If we can't completely solve the problem of the demon beasts attacking their masters, we really can't let a large number of people cultivate the art of taming beasts. At this time, Wang Mingchen returned to the imperial study from the harem. He bowed to Wang Daoyuan. Greetings, father. Congratulations on breaking through to the soul formation realm. Wang Daoyuan nodded. Your cultivation progress is not slow. It shouldn't take long for you to break your gold core and form your nascent soul. First, accumulate your strength. When there is no room for improvement in your divine sense and spiritual power, it won't be too late to break your gold core and form your nascent soul. Now that the family is not in danger, you can rest assured and strengthen the foundation. Let the myriad spirits ancestor out. I have something to ask him. The myriad spirits ancestor's shadow immediately floated out. He looked at Wang Daoyuan for a while and praised, the son of fortune is indeed extraordinary. You reached the soul formation realm before the age of 500. In the last 100 generations of disciples in the Valley of Beasts, only 2 or 3 people could do it. These 2 or 3 people appeared before the formation of the heaven-decimating abyss. It's really not easy for you to cultivate to such a level in the current Beiyuan Shoshin. If you have anything to ask, just say it. My grandnephew Wang Dirun cultivates the natal spiritual beast secret technique of the Valley of Beasts. Back then, the Valley of Beasts was ultimately destroyed by the demon beasts. I'm worried that his natal spiritual beast will attack his master in the future. Therefore, I want to ask about the reason why the demon beasts rebelled back then. Also, is there a possibility that this child Dirun will be bitten by the spirit beasts in the future? The myriad spirit's ancestor was also brooding over the fact that the Valley of Beasts was crippled by the 7th-rank evil dragon and was exterminated by the demon beasts. After a long silence, he said, "Don't worry. Natal spiritual beasts are different from ordinary domesticated spiritual beasts. They are bound to their master for good or ill. As long as they aren't crazy, they won't hurt their master. When the natal spiritual beast and the master are connected and cultivate together, the cultivation speed of both sides will greatly increase. Apart from this, the spiritual beast can also quickly develop intelligence with the help of the master. The benefits that the natal spiritual beast and the master receive are actually about the same, or even a little more. Therefore, the vast majority of spiritual beasts are willing to become the natal spiritual beast of the human race. The natal spiritual beast and the master are connected and can cooperate seamlessly when fighting in the future. The strength that they can display is definitely much stronger than ordinary spiritual beasts. This secret technique isn't difficult. It's just a special spirit commandeering secret technique called the symbiotic spirit commandeering technique. Later on, the Valley of Beasts produced divine venerable greenwood and other powerhouses. They didn't cultivate the symbiotic spirit commandeering technique and created other even more powerful techniques. And the symbiotic spirit commandeering technique has a huge flaw. Therefore, the core inheritance of the Valley of Beasts also changed. Flaw? What flaw does the symbiotic spirit commandeering technique have? You don't have to worry. It's not a problem with the technique itself, but that suitable spiritual beasts are extremely hard to find. The most basic condition is that the spiritual beast and the master are connected. Apart from that, it also requires that the spiritual beast and the master are compatible. The technique that the master cultivates and the purple mansion anomaly must be closely related to the spiritual beast. Otherwise, if the natal spiritual beast and the master can't cultivate together, it'll be meaningless. If the master cultivates forcefully, he may even suffer from chi deviation. That child, Dirun, has good talent. He's a 2-spirit root cultivator and has a water spirit vein of 8.6 inches. His talent is almost on par with Shui. He has some Xianlong bloodline in his body and cultivates the Wang family's overturn the sea technique. His purple mansion anomaly should also be of the Xianlong bloodline. And Qing River Carp has the Xianlong bloodline in his body, so it's extremely compatible with him. Therefore, I taught him the symbiotic spirit commandeering technique. The symbiotic spirit commandeering technique can be cultivated together with ordinary techniques. He doesn't need to change his technique, so you don't have to worry about that. Chapter 1032. Hearing this, Wang Shui was very happy. So, I can also use the symbiotic spirit controlling technique on Wang Xianlong and make him my natal spirit beast? Ancestor myriad spirits nodded. Of course. Wang Xianlong has the bloodline of the Xianlong, and you have the Xianlong phenomenon. The cultivation technique you cultivate is the art of overturning C, which is related to the Xianlong. There's no problem in terms of compatibility, and you can also cultivate telepathy. You raised Wang Xianlong from a young age, so it shouldn't take much effort. In fact, most natal spirit beasts are slowly cultivated to have telepathy with their masters. After all, telepathy with a spirit beast is extremely rare, and the possibility of it being compatible with one's Zifu phenomenon and cultivation technique is too low. Thus, my first master, the myriad beasts venerable, created this kind of secret technique. As long as you find a compatible spirit beast and use the secret technique to interact with it for a period of time, you might be able to telepathy. Take it and cultivate for a period of time, and it should be enough. Remember, it's best to have only one natal spirit beast. When the time comes, not only will a natal spirit beast with a low cultivation be of no help, it might even slow down your cultivation speed. After all, cultivators with natal spirit beasts have a portion of the spirit beast's spirit energy in their bodies. The natal spirit beast's spirit energy and the cultivator's spirit energy complement each other, and the two are in a state of balance. If you have many divine beasts, your cultivation speed will be slow in a short period of time, but the balance will be even more difficult. If the spirit energy is out of balance, it will cause the cultivator's own spirit energy to be mixed, and they might go berserk. If there is any conflict between different natal spirit beasts, going berserk is almost inevitable. Many disciples in the Valley of Beasts were greedy and raised many natal spirit beasts, but in the end, they didn't achieve anything. With a wave of his hand, a jade slip on Wang Mingqian's desk flew into his hand. After inscribing some information, he handed the jade slip to Wang Shui. Wang Shui also cupped his hands and said, "Senior, don't worry. I know what to do." Wang Daoyuan asked, "Then what about the chaos in the Valley of Beasts? Now that the family has raised many spirit beasts, I have to be prepared." Ancestor myriad spirits sighed. The demons caused the chaos in the Valley of Beasts, and I was also at fault. Because it was very difficult to find a life-bound spirit beast, most cultivators used the general spirit controlling technique to control the demonic beasts. Normally, when the imperial spirit technique was used to control demonic beasts, one would need to give them cultivation resources to increase their strength. The ordinary disciples in the sect did not have enough resources for their own cultivation, so how could they have extra resources to raise spirit beasts? Therefore, their spirit beasts were not raised by themselves. Instead, they caught demonic beasts and forced them to acknowledge them as their masters. Usually, due to the lack of resources, they treated the spirit beasts harshly. It was inevitable that these spirit beasts would harbor hatred in their hearts. Once their masters were in trouble, it was not uncommon for spirit beasts to attack their masters. In order to make these captured spirit beasts obedient, the elders at that time came up with a plan. These captured demonic beasts will first be placed in the 10,000 spirits pagoda to eliminate their wild nature and mark them with my divine sense. To put it bluntly, it was to torture them and leave a mark on them. As long as they dare to rebel, I can kill them at any time. However, back then, when I faced that Type 7 vicious dragon, I managed to hold it off for over an hour. My main body was severely injured, and I fell into a deep slumber. The spirit beasts that had been branded with my spiritual sense also sensed that the power of my spiritual sense brand had disappeared. The resentment that had accumulated for many years suddenly erupted. Because of my suppression, those disciples were also unscrupulous, and one person had multiple spirit beasts. When the spirit beasts attacked their masters, they were naturally powerless to resist. That was why the inheritance of the Valley of Beasts was cut off. The Valley of Beasts died because of me. I am truly ashamed of my past masters. Seeing his sorrowful appearance, Wang Daoyuan hurriedly consoled him. Who would have thought of this? At that time, Beiyuan no longer had a Type 7 spirit vein, but there was a vicious dragon that broke through. Moreover, the idea of dealing with the spirit beasts was also from the other elders. The ones who abused the spirit beasts were those disciples. You were just lax in your discipline, and were used by disciples with bad intentions. I didn't know the reason before, and I was worried that the Wang clan would repeat the same mistakes, so I didn't let my clansmen cultivate the spirit-controlling technique. Now it seems that it can be lifted. However, there are some rules to be set. First, the symbiotic spirit-controlling technique can be cultivated by all clan members, but it must be approved by the clan's higher-ups, and there can only be one symbiotic spirit beast. Second, the normal spirit-controlling technique can control spirit beasts, and you must use the spirit beasts that you have raised since young. If you dare to capture an adult spirit beast and force it to recognize you as its master, you will be expelled from the main branch and given a spirit vein to establish a branch of the clan, never to return to the main branch. Also, if you violate the clan's rules and refuse to change, you will be expelled from the main branch and establish your own power. Mingshan, write down what I said and pass it on to Mingshan. In the future, these two rules will be the clan's rules. The inheritance of the Valley of Beasts was almost cut off, and our Wang clan must not repeat the same mistake. As the clan grew, there would be more clansmen, and the clan's higher-ups would not be able to take care of everyone. The bigger the clan, the easier it was for scum to appear. Although the Wang clan had him, a soul formation cultivator, in charge, he would have to conquer the world in the future and fight in the War of Luck. The clan had to be his solid backing, and not find trouble for him. Those clansmen who were dishonest were all expelled from the main branch and established their own branches outside, so as to prevent the main branch's foundation from being damaged. Wang Mingshan cupped his hands and said, "Father, don't worry. I will tell Brother Mingshan to do it." Patriarch Myriad Spirit sighed. If the Valley of Beasts had this courage back then, we would not have ended up like this. Forget it, it's all in the past. In the future, I will assist the sect master well. When the Valley of Beasts is carried forward, we must set the rules. Wang Daoyuan said with a smile, "Unfortunately, my vision is Yinglong, and there is no living Yinglong in this world. Moreover, there are only a few who are qualified to be part of Yinglong's bloodline, and they are all top divine beasts. Not to mention Beiyuan Xiuxian, I'm afraid even the entire Qianyuan realm will be hard to find." Patriarch Myriad Spirits chuckled. "Do you need a natal spirit beast?" A natal spirit beast is used to increase the speed of cultivation and improve the strength of a battle. You have the 5 elements spiritual fire, so your cultivation speed is faster than having a natal spirit beast. Do you want to raise a pet to slow down your cultivation speed? Besides, even if you raise a natal spirit beast, it will be useless. The spiritual fire will completely refine the spirit beast's spiritual power, so it won't increase the speed of cultivation. As for the battle, I heard about how you killed the rank 6 dragon turtle in Linhai Prefecture. Just his domain alone could suppress the dragon turtle's full-powered attack. He could also block the other greater demon monarch's paths of retreat. With this ability, you only need special spirit beasts like the scarlet-feathered crow and the soul-eater tiger. These spirit beasts can be raised normally. There is no need to raise them as natal spirit beasts. I'm just lamenting. I really don't like ordinary demon beasts. Unless I really get a divine beast, I need to consider whether to raise one as a natal spirit beast. By the way, I encountered a strange thing in Qixing Si Xiuxian community. I can't be sure, so I can ask you. Upon hearing this, Patriarch Myriad Spirits was curious. You have seen a lot. What other strange things can you encounter? Tell me. Have you heard of Yinglong's son, Kenma? Of course. The Valley of Beasts started by domesticating divine beasts, so they know all kinds of strange beasts very well. Kenma is the ancestor of the Kirin clan. His appearance is between Yinglong and Kirin. This guy also has some of Yinglong's luck. There is only one Kenma in the world, and he disappeared after giving birth to the Kirin clan. Like Yinglong, this thing can't be drawn. Using his image to create things like spells will also backfire, but it is much lighter than Yinglong's. Why? You saw this thing? If I see Kenma, I will release Yinglong and take him down. Do you still need to ask? I just heard it from an old friend of Qixing Si Shushin community. The two biggest forces there fought, and the reason for the war was this Kenma. According to my old friend, a golden monster, Kirin, more than 300 meters long, appeared. The Kirin's aura was very strong, far stronger than that of a soul formation cultivator. There was also a light on its body, which dissipated after a dozen breaths. The surrounding houses and cultivators were intact. A few days after that, the two forces went to war. Kenma appeared in the Imperial Regency's territory, and the Imperial Regency took the initiative to attack the more powerful Seven Stars Alliance. I have two guesses. One is that they found an ancient treasure that has a lot to do with Kenma. The other is that this Kenma is someone's purple mansion anomaly. Patriarch Myriad Spirit's face became serious. Are you trying to say that this person is also a son of Providence? Wang Daoyuan nodded. There is only one Kenma in the entire Qianyuan realm. It is unlikely that he would go to a remote place like the Sea of Seven Stars. Even if it is really an ancient treasure, it can only be obtained by someone with great providence. If someone can get it before me, he must be a son of Providence. I want to know if there is a big age gap between sons of Providence. I am already a soul formation cultivator, but he has just opened his purple mansion. Patriarch Myriad Spirit pondered for a long time before saying, I have seen two batches of Sons of Providence. Although each batch of Sons of Providence is not born in the same year, the difference in age is not small. However, the difference in age wouldn't be too big. The difference between the oldest and the youngest wouldn't exceed 100 years. For Sons of Providence, being born first gives them the upper hand. The heavenly Tao is fair and will not be too biased toward a certain Son of Providence. That's strange. I am already more than 400 years old, and that kid has just opened his purple mansion. The age gap is definitely more than 200 years. Could it be that this Kenma is really an ancient treasure that was obtained by a son of Providence from the Sea of Seven Stars? Patriarch Myriad Spirit shook his head. That's not very likely. Before the appearance of the decimating heaven abyss, the Valley of Beasts was also a famous sect. We also know a lot of the secrets of the Qianyuan realm. It was impossible for an exotic beast like the building horse, which was related to luck, to be refined into a treasure. After they die, there will be no remnant soul left behind. Their bodies and other things will return to the world. Therefore, it was impossible for this item to be a rare treasure related to building horses. You can control Yinglong, so it is not strange that other Sons of Providence can control Kenma. It is just that the methods he uses cannot surpass a soul formation cultivator's aura. Just like how you are controlling Yinglong now, this Yinglong's aura should be comparable to your cultivation. If it is a method that can surpass a soul formation cultivator's aura, this person is at least a Mahayana cultivator. According to what you said, there are no Mahayana cultivators in the Sea of Seven Stars. If a Mahayana cultivator really appears, there is no need to fight. Just kill the opponent's upper echelons and take over the opponent's forces. Wang Daoyuan was also a little confused. It was impossible for an ancient treasure, a purple mansion phenomenon, and a Son of Providence's methods to be possible. He really could not think of anything. Patriarch Myriad Spirit thought for a long time before saying, I can't think of a reason for this matter in a short time, but my first master liked to collect some secrets. These secrets are recorded in a notebook, and there are many things that I have not seen. When Mingxian inherited the position of sect master, the inheritance was given to you. Look for the original copies of those inheritances and see if you can find them. Chapter 1033. Back then, when he obtained the inheritance from the Valley of Beasts, he only had his clone copy the content related to cultivation. As for some strange things, they were only temporarily put aside after being classified. After hearing Patriarch Myriad Spirit's words, Wang Daoyuan immediately ordered his clone in the space of the Spirit Pearl to find these strange things. They were originally classified and put away, so it didn't take much effort. Wang Daoyuan quickly took out a golden book that was more than a foot thick. The words, Myriad Beast Chronicles, were engraved on the cover. Do you think this is it? Patriarch Myriad's spirit picked up the golden book and checked it. It should be him. My main body was refined a long time after the old master cultivated to the almighty realm. I don't know much about the old master's early experiences. He flipped through it for a long time, and his eyes lit up. This is it. The old master has a wide range of friends and collected many legends. The legends about the Son of Providence are all here. There are many things recorded here that I really don't know. It seems that your deduction is right. Kenma is indeed the Son of Providence of the Sea of Seven Stars and has opened his purple palace. Isn't the age difference between the Sons of Providence not big? It's my lack of knowledge. The old master and several Earth Immortals have discussed this matter. According to the secret records, the heavenly Tao will adjust the birth time according to the birthplace and birth conditions of the Son of Providence. However, for someone like you who was born in a foundation establishment family, there is a world of difference between you and those descendants of Earth Immortals. If you were born at the same time, you wouldn't have a chance of winning, and there would be no fairness. Although the Wang family is not weak now, its current strength mainly depends on you. This is not a gift from the heavenly Tao. Your background is very low, and you were born in Beiyuan, a place where spiritual energy is exhausted. There shouldn't be a worse environment in the entire Qianyuan realm. In order to compensate for your extremely poor conditions, you should be born a few hundred years earlier. Legend has it that in a group of Sons of Providence that appeared more than 400,000 years ago, the oldest one was born with very poor conditions. He was born more than 700 years earlier than the latest Son of Providence. Although the Sea of Seven Stars was not as good as the Qianyuan continent, it still had a level 6 spiritual pulse. Moreover, that person was born in a great power that had existed for tens of thousands of years. In terms of inheritance and resources, he was much stronger than you. It's only fair that he was born a few hundred years later than you. This cultivation speed of yours is considered extremely fast among the children of destiny. The Son of Providence was not born with extremely strong providence. Instead, the higher one's cultivation level was, the more providence would be bestowed by the heavens. The heavenly Tao would not casually give a person a large amount of providence. It also depended on one's own efforts. Even if he was a seedling of the Son of Providence, if he was useless, the heavenly Tao would not continue to descend more providence. With such a poor background, you were able to break through to the semi-god realm before the age of 500. In addition, during cultivation, he could simultaneously produce the power of qi and blood as well as the power of divine sense. The speed at which his primordial spirit was nurtured would far surpass that of ordinary cultivators. In that case, it's very likely that you'll be able to break through to the Mahayana realm within 1,000 years. As for the Almighty Realm, you need enough immortal energy. The advantage of being able to convert spiritual energy into spiritual energy is even greater. I think you will become the youngest Almighty in the entire Qianyuan realm. The pressure is still very great. The Qianyuan continent has tens of thousands of years of history. There are countless Earth Immortal and Almighty inheritances left behind. The successors cultivated by these inheritances might be stronger than me. Patriarch Myriad's spirit looked disdainful. So what if he is the son of an Earth Immortal? I have lived for more than 200,000 years. My knowledge is not necessarily less than those Earth Immortals. In addition, you have the support of the Valley of Beasts inheritance. Other than the lack of resources, your postnatal conditions are considered above average among the children of destiny. Not all the children of destiny have good backgrounds. Back then, Sword Immortal Beiyuan was an itinerant cultivator and had no one to guide him. If he was not born in the central part of the Qianyuan continent, his conditions would be worse than yours. Wang Daoyuan was still a little worried about the Son of Providence in the Sea of Seven Stars. When he opened his purple mansion phenomenon was only the 5 elements divine beasts. Later, when he shattered his core and formed his nascent soul, the 5 elements divine beasts merged into one and became the Yinglong phenomenon. When the Son of Providence in the Sea of Seven Stars first opened his purple mansion, it was Kenma's phenomenon. This was the level of a divine beast patriarch, much stronger than the 5 elements divine beasts. If his phenomenon changed again when he formed his nascent soul, it might become Yinglong or even stronger. The Son of Providence in the Sea of 7 Stars had a Kenma phenomenon when he opened his purple mansion. It was stronger than my 5 elements divine beasts. In the future, when he shatters his core and forms his nascent soul, will this phenomenon be even stronger? Whether it is in my memory or the secret information recorded by the old master, there has never been anything about a phenomenon change. It will always be the same as when he opened his purple mansion. There will be changes in strength, but there will never be a fundamental change. I have never heard of your 5 elements phenomenon turning into Yinglong. The previous Son of Providence had a Sky Dragon and Sky Phoenix phenomenon. The Sky Dragon was the ancestor of the Dragon clan, and the Sky Phoenix was the ancestor of the Phoenix clan. The Sky Dragon and Sky Phoenix were the same as Kenma. They were all the sons of Yinglong. When the children of destiny emerged victorious in the end, none of the techniques they used had any trace of the flying rain dragon's aura. However, ever since Yinglong disappeared, there were only rumors about him in the world. However, you can have a Yinglong phenomenon. Either you are an anomaly among the sons of Providence, or the upcoming great tribulation of heaven and earth is too powerful. In the future, all the sons of Providence might have a Yinglong phenomenon. It's hard to say whether you are an anomaly among the sons of Providence now. Now, Wang Daoyuan had basically confirmed that he should be an anomaly among the sons of Providence. After all, he was the spirit of the pearl in his first life, and the spirit pearl was nurtured by the ancestral Dragon Mountain. He and Yinglong could be considered brothers. As the main spirit vein of the Qianyuan realm, the ancestral Dragon Mountain had nurtured the spirit pearl for countless years. It was impossible for the entire Qianyuan realm to have another spirit pearl. In terms of innate foundation, no one could compare with him. This was his biggest secret, and he couldn't reveal it easily. It seems that the next time I go to the Sea of 7 Stars, I have to catch that Son of Providence alive and see what's going on with him. Then, he took out a few stacks of animal skin books and handed them to Wang Mingchen. This trip to and from the Sea of 7 Stars passed by the edge of the ice field. The basic information of the sea conditions and islands along the way are recorded here. Our Wang family can't stay in Beiyuan forever. We have to go out. I plan to establish a connection between the 2 cultivation worlds. These islands just happen to be useful. You can choose a suitable place to build a transit station and a communication array. You can send someone to investigate which islands can be built as a transit station and which islands can be built as communication arrays. I'll leave these matters to you. You can use the power of the Yen Kingdom or the Wan Chuan Chamber of Commerce. Wang Mingchen took the animal skin books and nodded solemnly. Father, don't worry. It's related to the future of the family. I'll do my best. Now, the ice field, sky/mountain range, and the demon kings of the East Sea have been dealt with. The remaining 5th level demons will probably have to hide. They won't dare to show up easily. There are a lot of mineral resources in these places. They can all be exploited. As for the ice field, we have to support those half-demons who can adapt to the cold environment to occupy it, lest the ice field demons make a comeback. Go and deal with it. My avatar checked the dragon turtle's memory and found something. I need to go to the East Sea. I'll tell your mother later. Then, he took out a dozen pill bottles. This is the nascent cultivating pill. I don't need it now. 12th uncle, don't save it. Use this to improve your cultivation. Grow up early so that I can have no worries. Don't worry about the others. I have a lot of these things. Wang Shui took the pill bottle. I can be where I am today all because of your resources. I won't stand on ceremony with you. In the future, I'll have to fight for you in the War of Providence. Wang Daoyuan smiled. I'll wait for that day. With that, he set up Lei Peng's flying boat and left Qingli City. His avatar's cultivation was low, so it was a bit strenuous to torture the 6th level dragon turtle's soul. Only now did he clear the dragon turtle's memory. This dragon turtle had lived for tens of thousands of years. There were a lot of valuable things in its memory. As members of the dragon race, they were all the same. They didn't have much passion for cultivation, but they were all top experts in womanizing. Not to mention those female flood dragons when they were young, he knew a lot of important information. According to the dragon turtle's memory, when he fell asleep more than 20,000 years ago, he was already more than 20,000 years old. Even the black tortoise could only live for 40,000 years at most with a 6th level cultivation. But this guy already had a lifespan of close to 50,000 years in addition to the time he slept. Before he was killed, he was far from being at the end of his life. For him to be able to live past the upper limit of his lifespan, apart from the hibernation method inherited from the black tortoise bloodline, he also consumed 2 kinds of spirit medicines. These 2 kinds of spirit medicines were the soul-intoxicating grass and the golden body fruit. Even in the inheritance of the Valley of Beasts, there was no mention of these 2 kinds of spirit items. The soul-intoxicating grass required 6th level spirit energy to survive. It could grow to 7th level high grade at most. Just like its name, this thing's medicinal properties were mainly targeted at the soul. After consuming the soul-intoxicating grass, the entire person or demonic beast would fall into a state of suspended animation. The soul would be completely asleep, and not even a trace of divine sense power would leak out. This thing could totally be used as a poison, but it also had extremely high value. After consuming this soul-intoxicating grass, even if one didn't fall into a deep sleep, it had a great nourishing effect on the soul. If it could be combined with other spirit medicines, it might be able to refine a kind of medicinal pill that increased divine sense cultivation. This was a 7th level spirit medicine, which was useful even for mighty figures. The golden body fruit also had a similar effect, but it was used on the body. After consuming the golden body fruit, the circulation of qi and blood in the body would be extremely slow, very close to completely stopping. Moreover, the golden body fruit itself had an extremely strong effect of replenishing qi and blood. In addition, after consuming the golden body fruit, a special kind of energy would form on the surface of the body, protecting the essence, qi, and spirit in the body from leaking out. This kind of situation was similar to the leakless golden body divine ability, hence the name golden body fruit. High-grade spirit plants also contain some power of law. The power of law contained in these 2 kinds of spirit medicines seemed to have a certain interference effect on the law of life and death. Therefore, consuming these 2 kinds of spirit medicines could extend the lifespan of a person or demonic beast. The dragon tortoise was able to live until now mainly because of these 2 things, other than the black tortoise clan's hibernation method. Wang Daoyuan didn't want this thing just to sleep on it. Human cultivators were different from demonic beasts. The souls of demonic beasts were always simply hidden in their bodies. However, human cultivators constantly strengthened their souls during the process of cultivation. The primordial spirit of a soul formation cultivator was already extremely stable. It was impossible for them to fall into a deep sleep with just these 2 kinds of spirit medicines. However, the soul-intoxicating grass could increase divine sense cultivation, and the golden body fruit could increase qi and blood, slow down the consumption of qi and blood, and assist in body refinement. At the soul formation realm, there were no more medicinal pills that could increase the speed of cultivation. Only some special elixirs could increase one's cultivation. Now that he had encountered 2 of them, he naturally couldn't let them go. In the dragon tortoise's memory, these 2 kinds of spirit medicines grew in an underwater secret realm in the depths of the East Sea. That secret realm was also the place where the dragon tortoise hibernated. It was especially famous and was called the East Sea Dragon Palace. Chapter 1034. Now that Beiyuan Xiuxian's spirit veins had just recovered to level 5, there were definitely no living plants of the 2 types of spirit plants in the mystic realm. However, the spirit plants had survived in the mystic realm for many years and must have left behind many seeds. Although level 6 spirit plants took a long time to grow, it would take at least 5,000 years, or even 10,000 years. However, in Wang Daoyuan's space with the spirit pearl, 10,000 years was nothing. After riding Lei Peng's flying boat and entering the sea in Linhai Prefecture, they headed south. After flying for a day, they stopped on a small island. This small island was less than 100 miles in radius, and there was a small lake with a radius of 10 miles on the island. This island was less than 1,000 miles away from the heaven/mountain range, and there was a level 5 low-grade attribute-less spirit vein at the bottom of the sea. As long as there was a mystic realm, there must be a spirit vein nearby. After all, a mystic realm also needed to exchange energy with the outside world. Without a spirit vein, a mystic realm could not be supported. In the dragon turtle's memory, the entrance to the mystic realm was at the bottom of the lake. Wang Daoyuan put away the Lei Peng's flying boat and dived into the bottom of the lake. Soon, he came to a small stone mountain at the bottom of the lake. After turning in the rocks, he soon came in front of a light screen. According to the dragon turtle's memory, the surviving great demon kings of the demon race were all gone. Even if there were any demonic beasts in this mystic realm, they would not dare to do anything. From the dragon turtle's memory, he learned that it had always been alone. Demonic beasts would not set up formations or anything like that, so there was no need to worry about any tricks inside. Wang Daoyuan used the black tortoise bright light armor, and his body was wrapped in a layer of black armor as he walked straight into the light screen. The environment in this mystic realm was very good. The entire mystic realm was more than 600 miles in diameter, which was considered relatively large in Beiyuan. His divine sense swept around the mystic realm and did not find any demonic beasts. The overall situation in the mystic realm was high in the west and low in the east. The west was a relatively tall mountain range. There were many spirit springs in the mountain, and these spring water formed streams. These streams converged together and eventually formed a small river that flowed towards the southeast. In the southeast direction of the mystic realm was a relatively large lake. Most of the secret realm was still flat land. There were many forests around the rivers and lakes. His avatar, Huning, forcefully searched the dragon turtle's soul. His cultivation level was not high enough after all, so the memories he searched were incomplete. He only knew that there used to be soul-intoxicating grass and golden body fruit growing in this secret realm, but the exact location was unknown. Wang Daoyuan could only release the soul-chasing bees that he hadn't used for many years and let them search for ancient seeds with spirituality in this mystic realm. After all, he was now a divine transformation cultivator, and the oldest wasp king of the soul-chasing wasps was only at the middle of the 4th rank. Ordinary soul-chasing bees were mainly rank 3 middle grade, with a small number of rank 3 upper grade. Be it speed or strength, the soul-chasing bees were of no use. Ever since he started refining the Jianghu gourd, Wang Daoyuan let the old queen bee breed many new queen bees and let them live in the various Jianghu gourds. Now, Wang Daoyuan had over 100 small soul-chasing bees. The strongest of the new queen bee was only at the 3rd stage upper grade. Other than collecting pollen and producing royal jelly, it had no other uses. Unfortunately, after searching for a long time, he didn't find anything. It seemed that old tortoise hadn't been idle before. Some of the seeds had also been cleaned up. He put away the soul-chasing wasps and jumped into the lake in the southeast of the mystic realm. This mystic realm dared to be called the East Sea Dragon Palace because there was a luxurious underwater cave under the lake of the mystic realm. Wang Daoyuan entered the lake and found that it was a saltwater lake. However, it was normal when he thought about it. The core of the mystic realm was connected to the sea outside through the core, so it wasn't rare for seawater to enter this place. The bottom of the lake was full of corals and there were many glowing spiritual plants, illuminating the entire bottom of the lake with colorful lights. It really did look like a crystal palace. Unfortunately, the grades of these corals and spiritual plants were too low and there wasn't much value in cultivating them. He only collected a few and raised them in the space of the spiritual pearl. Among the corals, there was also a road paved with gold bricks. These gold bricks were genuine crafting materials. Even now, they were still at the 4th level of the upper grade. 10,000 years ago, the grade would only be higher. Moreover, these gold bricks looked quite old. They were at least tens of thousands of years old. Wang Daoyuan also stopped looking down on it. Previously, he thought that the Dragon Palace was built by Old Tortoise himself and was just a grassroots organization. Now, it seemed that a true dragon might have lived in this crystal palace. As he walked along the gold brick road, the grades of the corals around him became higher. After walking for more than 30 miles, a huge palace complex appeared in front of him. This group of palaces was similar to the legendary Dragon Palace. The materials used in the palaces were all sparkling. At the outermost part of the palace, there was a tall crystal arch with the words, Dragon Palace of the Pan Shan Lake, written on it. These words were written in the ancient language of the human race. He really didn't know if this Dragon Palace was built with the help of the human race or by the demon race. After the dragon race cultivated to rank 7, their spiritual intelligence was extremely high. At that time, they would also be able to learn some cultivation arts. A true divine beast's talent in this aspect was not much worse than that of the human race. This was also the main reason why the human race with pure divine beast bloodline could not be affected in all aspects. Those semi-divine beasts had the bloodline of other demon beasts. Their talent in this aspect was indescribable. The reason why the human race could stand shoulder to shoulder with the divine beasts was because they could reproduce and cultivate quickly. In addition, they had a high growth limit. An expert at the level of Beiyuan sword immortal had never appeared among the divine beasts. The corals in front of the palace were already rank 4 upper grade. They were even emitting gold and silver light. Wang Daoyuan recognized this kind of coral. It was called gold-silver coral. The gold-silver coral's growth limit was very high. Under the condition of abundant spiritual energy, it could grow to rank 7. Moreover, this gold-silver coral could absorb metallic spiritual energy, causing the coral to have some characteristics of metallic materials. If it grew for a long time, some golden sand would accumulate in the coral. If the coral was tempered with flames, a small amount of metallic materials could be extracted. It could be said that this gold-silver coral was a metal ore that could continuously grow. This made Wang Daoyuan extremely excited. The space of the spiritual pearl could produce endless spiritual energy and could cultivate all kinds of spiritual plants. The biggest flaw now was the lack of metallic materials. Although there were many spiritual plants planted in the space of the spiritual pearl that could be used for refining, spiritual plants were not suitable for forging too much. They could not safely replace metallic materials. Near the Tai golden flame in the space of the spiritual pearl, a miniature mountain range appeared. The mountain rock seemed to contain Tai divine gold. However, the miniature mountain range was too small. It was only about 30 meters long and less than 20 meters tall. It was estimated that if the entire mountain was dug up, it could at most refine 2 or 3 magic weapons. It was really not worth it. This coral had this effect. Even if the metal produced from it was relatively ordinary. As long as the grade was high, its value would not be low. Especially when refining a large magic weapon like the flying warship, the demand for refining materials was high. However, the materials were not required to be precious. If the strength of the materials was not enough, it could be increased by various refining techniques. Other materials could also be added to refine it into 100 refinement gold. By planting a large number of gold-silver coral, with the flow of time in the space of the spiritual pearl, there should be no need to worry about the lack of metallic materials in the future. If he could obtain this gold-silver coral, this trip would not be in vain. After collecting more than 10 corals, he walked to the front of the crystal archway. There was a transparent restriction in the archway. Wang Daoyuan carefully observed the patterns on the restriction. There were formation patterns and a special inscription pattern among the patterns. It was extremely similar to the nomological inscriptions, but it was obviously much more profound. According to some records of the Divine Weapon Pavilion, this should be a heavenly Tao inscription pattern. The Tao was the highest level of power in this world. The nomological laws could be said to be the projection of the Tao. The true Tao would not manifest easily. The most basic requirement for a cultivator to break through to the Mahayana realm was to be able to sense the existence of the Tao and use the power of the nomological laws to imitate the power of the Tao. It was just like how core formation required one to sense the power of the nomological laws and use spirit energy to imitate the power of the nomological laws. For a heavenly Tao inscription pattern like this, one had to be at least at the realm of a mighty figure to be able to inscribe it. The formation patterns in the restriction were obviously different from the formation patterns of the human race. It should be a formation pattern that the dragon race had researched on their own. It was still very difficult to understand such formation patterns. In the memories of the dragon turtle that Han Yinxuan had extracted, there was also some information about the restriction here. Wang Daoyuan began to use the secret technique according to the dragon turtle's memories. Soon, the restriction on the crystal arch was opened. Wang Daoyuan was not in a hurry to find the item. Instead, he looked around and figured out the layout of the dragon palace. The dragon palace was not small. It was even bigger than the Yan country's palace in Qingli City. However, most of the palaces were empty and did not even have a defensive formation. This was also within Wang Daoyuan's expectations. After all, the Dragon Palace had at least tens of thousands of years of history. What good things would be left here now? According to the Dragon Turtle's memories, he came to the center of the palaces. There was still a restriction guarding this place. However, the Dragon Turtle's memories also had a method to break the restriction. Wang Daoyuan formed a complicated hand seal with both hands. Soon, the restriction was opened. This hall was a little like the imperial hall of a mortal palace. After entering the door, it was a place similar to the imperial court. There was a gorgeous throne on the main seat. There were 9 dragons carved on it. The entire throne was crystal clear. There were also some gemstones and pearls inlaid on it. Under the illumination of these treasures, the 9 dragons seemed to come alive. The grade of the materials was not low. Unfortunately, they were flashy and did not have much practical value. However, he could bring it back and make himself look good in the future. After putting the throne into the space of the spirit pearl, Wang Daoyuan went to the back of the hall. In the depths of the hall, there was a spirit spring. Its grade was not low. It had already been restored to the lower grade of the 5th level. This spirit spring was the core of the entire mystic realm. Back then, the dragon turtle was sleeping in this spirit spring. Wang Daoyuan came to the bank of the spirit spring. This was an underground stone room. There were some cupboards on the wall. There were many things placed on them. Wang Daoyuan looked at them one by one. There were special Dharma artifacts, various gemstones, pearls, and the like. They were all at the peak of the 4th level. In the past, their grades should have been higher. However, without the nourishment of high-grade spirit chi, their grades had dropped. After putting these things in the space of the spirit pearl, it would not take long for them to be restored to the 6th level. Wang Daoyuan naturally would not let them go. Together with the Dharma artifacts and refining materials, he put them into the space of the spirit pearl. In the corner of the cupboard, there were a few 1-foot-tall jade bottles. Wang Daoyuan looked at these jade bottles and found that the things inside were actually some seeds. There were also some restrictions in the bottles to protect the seeds. God knows how many years have passed. Most of the seeds have lost their vitality. Only a small number of seeds still had a weak vitality. His main purpose in coming to the Dragon Palace was to find the seeds of the soul-intoxicating grass and the golden body fruit. As for whether these seeds had such things, he did not know. He removed the restrictions on the jade bottles and planted these seeds near the spiritual fire of life. Whether they could germinate or not would depend on their luck. After putting all the things in the stone room that could be taken away into the space of the spirit pearl, he turned his gaze to the spirit spring. This spirit spring had been here for tens of thousands of years. Maybe it had nurtured something good. It would be a pity if he did not go down and plunder it. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.